WMXF Waynesville. W225CJ Candler. The number one preset in your
All
car.
right, you got me?
The new and improved iHeartRadio.
Yes, sir.
10-4.
So good.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
Go to ESPNAVL.com to play, and good luck.
Live from the Ingles studio,
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
the Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, the Sportsocracy. Heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. And we're seen everywhere on YouTube. When he's in the mullet manor, that is.
This
He's
mullet
back.
manor. I just learned last night there is a coastal mullet manor that I now want to buy really badly. That we are going on vacation next week, and I will be staying in the Savannah, Georgia, Tybee Island Mullet Manor.
Yes. That's just fate right there.
I spent
When you're
way
flipping
more money
through-
than I should have on a house just to stay in that house.
Like you just saw it and went, it's fate.
I did. I told Amy, I was like, we couldn't find a house that we could stay in the whole week because it's 4th of July. We always go on vacation for Amy's birthday, which is she and America were born on the same day. So it always makes it kind of problematic to find that house. And I found this one and went, I don't care how much. You just shut up and take my money.
I was going to say, especially if you wait to book it on Thursday the week before.
Look, Tank, you've traveled with me enough to know you get a better deal when you do it my way.
I do. I'm just saying, I don't plan things either. So it's like, throwing stones in glass houses. I'm just saying.
On the YouTube stream, I have thrown up a picture of the Tybee Island Mullet Manor where
it's beautiful.
She's Butte, Clark. She's Butte. I am going to drink so many natural lights in that particular house.
There will be much vacationing going on next week, but we've got things to cover here in the Sportsocracy over the next couple of days, continuing with our off-season grades for the AFC and NFC East.
Oh, what? You don't want to talk about the NBA draft? I'm so disappointed.
We'll do the South tomorrow. Yay. Cooper Flagg was the number one pick in the draft. And the Charlotte Hornets got Con Knipple.
They got a nipple.
Yeah, and Liam McNeely. I'm sure this is going to go well. You guys have done such a great job at roster construction over the years that I'm so sure that the sharpshooter from Duke and some freshman from UConn are going to save this franchise.
Disagree for the square.
It's hard for me to get excited.
I played a little drinking game with the first round of the NBA draft last night. That's one of the reasons I look a little worse for the wear today.
Okay.
Every time a player was drafted that I don't give a crap about, I took a shot. Next thing I knew, I drank a whole fifth of Crown Royal, and now my life hurts.
I was going to say 32 shots in the books.
Nope, 30. There's only 30 picks.
No, that's right. 30 teams in the NBA.
Yep. And I took a double shot because Khan's last name is Nipple. That felt like that should be 2 drinks.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to do wonderful advertising, marketing things in Charlotte with Con Knipple. They won't. Just so you know.
They will indeed not.
It's hard not to. It's hard to care. Hard to care.
But I mean, Tank, we got breaking news with your team though. I mean, you got to hit the button.
Good Lord. Yes, it's let's break some news here.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Yeah.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
We're doing it. I mean, just sign me up. 3 more years of Todd Bowles.
They're making them at night.
Appreciate you.
They're making them at night, for sure. I read that and went, I bet Tank saw that. And now, for me, it was the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning.
Right.
For you had already been awake for like 6 hours, so this was your midday kick in the...
Yeah. Sat down to eat my lunch and went, wonderful. Let's go. More of an emotionless sideline for 3 more years. What are you going to do? The guy keeps winning divisions.
What are you going to do?
Not that.
Not that. That's what I would have done. Hey, Todd, I feel like I earned an extension. Well, I don't. So I feel like I should weigh 50 less pounds, but I can't stop drinking beer. So, facts don't care about your feelings.
Precisely. Did you see this in the YouTube comments from David L? He says he's got a new young lady that works at his office, I guess, and she's from Asheville. Relocated after the hurricane, and as it turns out, she's apparently a big fan of the show. And she just said, "What's up?" So, what's up, girl from David's work?
Oh, her name's Karen.
We're sorry you had to go, and hopefully you can come back one day.
I said she was a big fan of yours in general. I always like hearing that.
It's I get it.
I always like when people give Tank his flowers. Tank deserves more flowers than he gets.
That means I got 2 of them. I got Karen and I got my wife. So I got 2 fans. Let's go.
You have way more than that.
Oh man! Hey, did you catch any of the Womack Wednesday yesterday?
I did. I heard you had Michael McDowell.
Yeah, I had another good time with Chris Womack. He's got he's got quite the little NASCAR connection.
He really does. I keep hearing I'm not listening to it to like. I'm not critiquing you or anything like that. I realized that I was texting you during every one of those shows, and it made it seem like I was being micromanagey guy. So I just left you alone yesterday.
No, we dig it. You're checking in. You're making sure the product is carrying on. We like it. It's not only not only are we creators of the show, we're fans of the show as well. I can't.
I do enjoy the product, even when I'm not involved in it.
Exactly. So we had Michael McDowell, 2021 Daytona 500 winner, on with us yesterday. We also have, I believe, Cole Custer is going to be joining us on the program next Wednesday. There is a sign-up sheet going around the garage area. I've seen the sign-up sheet, and we have a NASCAR driver booked for every show from now until like mid-June.
Wait, is that a real thing?
It is a real thing.
Let's go.
Eric Jones has signed up to be on the show like 3 months from now, like in September.
Let's go.
So yes, we will. We'll continue to cover some of those more outside the box kind of things. He sat down with Carlin Pickens, North Buncombe great, world record holder for the fastest softball pitch. Sat down with Chris Womack, sat down with her, and had a good conversation with her yesterday. So just always appreciate Chris's efforts.
Oh, and I think that's something that somebody sent me a message the other day that the way it was said, I think it was meant to be a compliment. It didn't necessarily sound that way. And it was to me of that I didn't have an ego and I would be willing to give up one of my... This is not how this went. This was a good idea that I knew I could contribute nothing to. Absolutely zero. I haven't watched a full NASCAR race in 10 years.
No.
I bet on it a lot. But then again, I also bet on Russian table tennis during COVID. So that doesn't necessarily mean that I enjoy, and I do enjoy the sport. Sunday's a me day. Like, I sleep a lot.
Well, you got to save up for the other Sundays.
Oh,
because they ain't no rest when those Sundays hit.
Oh, you have no idea. The funniest part of our Sundays in the fall is Tank only has a precursory knowledge of what we're actually doing. I've shown him the schedule that is not up to date. He has not seen the new one because there's something he can't know on the new one. So I'm having to. Oh. It's almost like I'm having to send him classified documents with blacked out dates that he can't know about. The fall's going to be intense.
Okay.
And when I say intense,
gotta save it up.
I mean intense.
Right. We got to save it up. We got a super chat in the YouTube. From Soaring Eagle, he says, we also got breaking news with my team, his team. He sent it to you because he saw this and was like, oh, my good God. What is that?
So it is my outside story today. I love Soaring Eagle because he makes my job so much easier.
He does all your show.
He does. He sends me stories, and I'm like, yep, that one's good. Let's do that. The only bad thing is he sends me so many that sometimes I get confused as to which one he's talking about. Mm-hmm. And they're all good. By the way, anybody else that wants to do that, feel free. I enjoy it a lot. Might take me a minute to respond because, after my little infarction on Twitter, the notifications, they're not turned on. So
he's got another one here.
Show me the money, money. Show me the.
He says, I am yesterday years old when I discovered that you can buy Panini and Topps trading cards from a vending machine in an airport. I learned when I went on my DC trip that they sell Legos in vending machines in some airports, and that was real weird to me.
Panini is single-handedly taking over the world. They already got Dan Patrick. They already got the Reese's Senior Bowl, and yes, I will continue to call it the Reese's Senior Bowl until they threaten to take my credential away. I will keep calling it that.
What if they make a Reese Cup Panini sandwich and give it to you? Will you start calling it the Panini then?
Is the Panini made with French toast?
Yes. Because
that sounds so good.
We've just created something.
I think I went extra fat.
The breakfast Panini.
That was 3X fat. If you've never seen me do stand-up, I used to do a bit. I used to do a bit that people were supposed to be small, medium, and large. And then McDonald's showed up, and we got so fat that we just kept throwing X's in front of it to denigrate people in the hopes that they would lose weight.
Yep.
I'm one of them 3Xers. So that's the thing that I did.
Mm-hmm. It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville as we get ready for the off-season grades. The NFC East, we'll do that first. We won't jump into the Dallas Cowboys just yet.
We'll start with Dallas, though. We have a super chat from Sir Jimothy. That's his team. I mean, I love when synergy happens.
Synergy at its finest.
He said, not a NASCAR fan. No drivers, but proud of y'all. Keep it up, and we'll always support because we know y'all will always produce. And we appreciate that. I do have to say that, and I'm not going to lie. I'm in such vacation mode. I bounce between topics like a toddler bounces between toys. And if you think it's bad on a normal Tuesday, I'm 30 hours from 11 days at the beach. It's about to be 50 times worse than you're used to. That was where I was headed talking about you and Chris Womack. You guys are doing such a good job with that. That was an offhand comment you made to me. And I immediately went, that might be the smartest thing you've ever said.
Yeah.
And you're a reasonably smart guy. You say smart stuff. But as soon as you said that, I went, I love when things work. And that works. And I like that.
Well, look, I knew that there was not going to be much pushback if I said, you know what, maybe we should give you a day off during the week. I didn't think there was going to be pushback on that one.
Well, we have our Thursday nights are spoken for in the fall when I come back from vacation.
Man, things are coming together.
Oh yeah, it's so good. And I told our Discord server a few days ago, when you see this, you're going to realize this is a masterpiece that's been 2 years in the making. Because I live by a simple adage: it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. All my homies have some this year, all of them. We've got cool stuff. There's another vehicle on wheels that involves you guys. It's just things are happening and it's exciting, and I'm ready to tell you, and I can't yet, and that makes me sad.
Not just yet. The Ingles Living the Dream Tour Part 2
rides again. We do have to start calling it by its official government name.
Is it Rides Again?
Yes, Living the Dream rides again. It's
Living the Dream. Okay.
All of the imaging will go out next week.
All right. The Ingles Living the Dream Rides Again Tour. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did I do it?
Yes.
Of course, Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices. Love the savings. We couldn't do it without them or the support of Parks Ford of Hendersonville. The mobile studio rides again as well. Clarissa sells WNC.com. One of the other OG sponsors of this program.
Oh, and she has she was the catalyst of an idea that I think a lot of people listening to the show are really going to like.
And of course, Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue. And you reach out to Jeremy if you'd like to be a part of the sponsorship package of the upcoming season, correct?
Yeah, if you want to do that, I highly advise you do it quickly. I had a meeting the other day where somebody said, we have a sponsor that wants to do blankety blank, and I went, can't. Or spoken for. That plate has already been taken. Can I interest you in this lovely charcuterie board?
Right. So get in on the adventure while you can. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. When we come back, we will begin off-season grades for the NFC East and the Dallas Cowboys.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
And we're clear.
Thank you.
Back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
September 19th and 20th. Streaming live only on Hulu. Starring John Fogerty, Bryan Adams, Sammy Hagar, Mariah Carey, Tim McGraw, Jelly Roll, Ed Sheeran, and more. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage. Superstar performances and once-in-a-lifetime artist moments you'll have to see to believe. Get your iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets now at AXS.com.
At QC Kinetics, we're
the Superstars.
Superstars.
That's why we're excited to announce that QC Kinetics is now partnering with the National Pickleball League. So many of our satisfied patients are.
I will say, I don't know how many things I'm going to blow up to celebrate my nation's independence.
We're committed to help.
It's going to be a lot.
It's going to be a bunch of them.
There's going to be a lot.
Regenerative cell treatments.
We're stopping at Hearst on the way in. So we're going to stay there we're stay at Charleston for 2 days before we actually go into Tybee.
And no downtime.
He was like, we do a big block party in the neighborhood. I went, you do know we're staying on the pier in Tybee Island that does the fireworks show for Savannah.
As a lead sponsor of the National Pickleball.
Yeah.
Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 82
Nice.
9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Yeah, it's official.
I'm also going to see if I can catch a fish with like a horn that's your size.
With some nonstop holiday hits right now on iHeart.
Come again?
There's some weird fish in Tybee that get very large, and I wouldn't eat them for $1 million.
Honest, real.
Okay.
But I'm gonna drunkenly sit on the pier one day and just.
Open to free
I don't even fish. I don't even really know what to do with the thing if I catch it.
Trick isn't making.
But I'm gonna.
But realize.
Okay.
I'm almost 40. I have to take up an old man hobby that doesn't involve any form of athleticism.
I don't know that it should involve, sharp hooks and shit.
Heart Radio app.
This is
what are you, cop?
Park Sport of Hendersonville.
No, I'm just trying to look out for you, brother.
Dude, I am a 6'5" man with a 76-inch wingspan. I promise you, I ain't hooking myself. I might hook somebody else.
Today at Park.
Yeah, I don't know that.
That pain, as long as I don't harm myself, I don't care.
Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat.
I mean, I'll say I'm sorry. Like, hey, sorry my fish hook's in your eyelid. What, you want to fight about it? Let me pull that out of there because you're bleeding.
International aisle, local farm partnerships, curbside pickup, wine department, or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks.
Stephen Dow said 40-year-old men start smoking meats and cooking on a Blackstone. I already do both of those things.
Love the savings.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're
yeah, I'm with Gary. It's now certain you're hooking yourself.
Investment opportunities.
If you hook yourself off a pier, you're not real bright.
Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774.
Because you're not really trying to get distance.
Let's make your real estate dreams a reality.
Just getting it kind of by the pier.
Realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It is ESPN Asheville. Welcome back into the Sportsocracy.
If you're not listening to us on YouTube, you're really missing some great discussions. I need an old man hobby. All right, I'm getting older. I can't do the things that I used to do, and I need an old man hobby. And there's part of me that thinks that's fishing.
Mm-hmm. I can't help you there because honestly, I can't fish. I don't have the patience for it. I can't stand there and just do nothing.
Well, I mean, for me, here was my thought process. There are not a lot of things that involve you having absolutely zero athleticism, and you sit in one place and you drink the whole time.
Video games.
I already do that. Look, when I come back, look, you're getting very nominal effort from me for about 2 weeks because that college football game is going to drop. Jeremy's got to build up the fighting West Virginia Mountaineers again, so
right.
I'm going to be a little preoccupied.
He's got a lot to do because the weekends are spoken for during the football season.
I need an old man hobby. I've been asked to play pickleball like 14 times. That just feels like rolled ankle written all over it.
Seems like a lot of trouble to me.
Pickleball. Look, I played tennis years ago. My wife played tennis in college. Mm-hmm. I could try that. Gary Burt's got it right. He said, "Have you tried yelling at the neighborhood kids yet? Sit in one place drunk and incorporate your past experience. Boom. That's it."
Yeah.
I don't have a yard, which that's
right. Like,
there's no yard for a kid to throw a ball into.
Right, like Jeremy lives in one of those mixed-use developments that's got like businesses and stuff underneath him. So he'd be sitting out on his balcony, probably flashing people
for sure,
boxers, screaming at the soccer moms that are going to exercise at the YMCA. That doesn't sound like a good idea to me.
So you're saying I should stop doing that?
Going to be too cool with that.
So you're saying I should stop doing that?
Yes, 100%. If you're doing that, you should definitely stop it. We should carry ourselves better than that.
No,
that's
favorite,
like some Antonio Brown type stuff right there.
Yeah, it's actually funny you said that. I guess this was Tuesday. There was a guy outside that I was in here working. I was actually on a conference call, and I muted my mic because there was a guy downstairs that was just honking his horn over and over and over again, and he was screaming at somebody. And I just stepped out the balcony and said, "I don't think she wants to talk to you." And then I got two middle fingers, and I went, Was that supposed to hurt my feelings?
I was like, was that the point where you looked at him and said, I must look smaller from down there?
Yeah.
But you probably should go before I get angry.
Does FAFO mean anything to you? Because I can be down those stairs in no less than 90 seconds. So,
right. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to take that back, and then I'm going to come down there. And I'm going to stomp a mud hole in your keister.
If you make me put shoes on, I am going to whip you. I'm going to whip you in a way that your grandmama probably didn't do when you was just a wee lad.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that almost sounded like one of my threats to my children. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't, because I've seen your kids, and there's about zero chance that they can't kick your keister right now.
Shut up. I don't know that they've figured it out yet.
You run like a possum that's trying to get away with a half-eaten sandwich that got out of the garbage can. You just kind of and your feet don't get more than like.
I finally did have that moment the other day where, you know, you're playing around with your teenager, and then all of a sudden, like, he grabs your arm in a way that you're like, oh, wait a minute, I actually cannot break this grip, and we're here, and that's where we're at now. Okay, I'm gonna never do that again.
It's not a good day.
It's not a fun day at all. We got a couple of super chats here. The first one from Red Sea says, "Live in the dream rides again, falafel Helene." Indeed, I like that. We should put that on the shirt.
I was about to say we should put that on a shirt. We should do tour shirts that say Falafel Helene on the front with the Live in the Dream logo, and then have the tour schedule on the back. Done.
Like it.
We'll also get fast signs to do a hashtag Falafel Helene to put on the tailgate of the truck.
All right, and then Red Sea chipping in with National Suck It England Day is coming up. Yes, do not forget the real importance of Independence Day.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have this day so we don't have to give a crap about who's the king or queen or prince or whatever overseas.
Yeah, anybody that worries about World War III, we are currently undefeated. So we are the Alabama football of world wars. So, yeah, sorry, Murray State doesn't talk a whole lot of smack to Alabama because they know what will happen if they get on a football field. Looking directly at you, Iran. Just right here, Murray State. You don't want this smoke.
All right, and one final one. Old man hobbies for Jeremy. Red Sea says, sit on the porch, drink beers, yell at morons, curse like a sailor, watch football. Wait. He already does all that stuff. Yeah, see, there's no real change there.
I have a weird personality. Tank, look, you are, what, 42?
Yes.
All right, you're a 42-year-old man that somehow has been 70 for 10 years.
More longer than that.
Half of my personality is 70. I like to play golf. Kids make me angry. And I think everybody that's younger than me is dumb as hell.
Yes.
But then I also have another side that's like 21. And that's the one that comes out more.
Mm-hmm.
Also why I'm drinking a liquid IV at noon on a Thursday.
Because choices get made, and they're not always the best ones.
Sometimes you think an idea is funny, you make a little social media video of it, and the next thing you know, you've drank a handle or a fifth of Crown Royal, and your life hurts. Watching the NBA draft.
Which is something that you should never do at home alone. You should never do any sporting event at home alone. In fact, every sporting event possible, you should make your way down to Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue. 135 Cox Avenue, downtown Asheville. Make that your new spot for sports watching, because why wouldn't you? They've got all of the televisions. They have wonderful, wonderful libations. That grapefruit drink that they have, I keep forgetting the name of it, the Summer Breeze or something like. Oh my goodness, that's one of those dangerous drinks that you could have a bunch of. They make a pretty mean old fashioned over there as well. But then you add in the fact that they got the best meat in town, and they will serve you all the balls that you can handle. The bear balls, the moink balls. It's the best appetizer menu in town. Smoked wings that are out of this world. And don't forget about the sauce buffet as well. You can pick all your favorite sauces. You can make a concoction of all of the sauces at once. Just Texas pepper barbecue sauce. It's the greatest thing known to man. My opinion alone. Bears Smokehouse Barbecue, BearsBBQ.com. They are the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. We'll be right back talking Dallas Cowboys.
ESPN Asheville.
And we're clear.
Mountain weather forecast.
The high today should climb
I like how we teased this one for 32 minutes just to say Dallas, no.
Around of rain is possible this evening with clouds and patchy fog overnight, with the low dropping to 67. The high on Friday headed to 88 degrees with showers and thunderstorms settling in through the afternoon hours. If you're going to be out during the weekend, you may encounter some afternoon and evening thunderstorms. High temperatures on Saturday and Sunday should hit the mid to upper 80s. I'm Jeff Maher from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. It's cake batter. It's cookie dough. It's the new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard treat. Now at participating DQ locations for a limited time. Fly in today for this cosmic collision of flavor. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ. Happy tastes good.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
The Dallas Cowboys.
All that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio. The free iHeartRadio app.
Looking to buy or sell in Asheville? At Clarissa Sells WNC with eXp Realty, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County. Give us a call.
We're at that point where we're trying to eat through everything in the refrigerator so nothing goes bad.
We're here for what matters.
Right.
Looking for something fresh on Thursday nights? Join us at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue for WTF Thursdays. That's Women to the Front, a new live music series spotlighting incredible solo female artists. Every Thursday from 6:30 till 8:30 p.m. in partnership with WTF Fest, we're bringing powerful performances and good vibes to the stage. It's free, it's fun, and it's all about supporting women in music. WTF Thursdays at Bear Smokehouse Barbecue, downtown Asheville.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville, introducing you to this summer's Parks Community Hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. A critical need exists today. Join us on June 27th at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Help save a life and donate blood, and make a direct impact in our community and support all of our community heroes. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. So, Jeremy, the name of that drink, by the way, It's called the All Day Long because you can probably drink it all day long. It's bourbon, grapefruit, lemon, and Ginger's Revenge ginger beer. So good. Did I lose you?
I like all of those things.
Oh, there he is. Oh, there
no,
he
I
is.
was talking into a mic. I did the Tank Spencer. I was talking into a microphone that wasn't turned on.
I was like, where did he go? What's happening right now? Yeah. So anyway, the All Day Long, I highly recommend it over at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue. Today's outside story: who's shocked that George Pickens is in the news once again? And it's for nothing good. We've talked about the head case wide receiver going from the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Dallas Cowboys, who we're getting ready to talk about, give their offseason grade. I feel like it was a good pickup for the Dallas Cowboys. Here's the problem with George Pickens, though, is he's not, one of the most stable humans on the planet. So he had signed up to host this youth football camp in Pittsburgh coming up this weekend. He gets traded from Pittsburgh to the Dallas Cowboys, and the organizers of the camp went, "Holy cow, are you in? Are we still doing this thing? Because we've sold all these packages to these parents for their kids to come and hang out with you at football camp." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to be there. No problems." Well, lo and behold, last night the word got out that he's not going to be a part of the camp. So, he waits 2 days before the camp's going to happen. And they're like, "Hey, are you coming? When's your flight coming in?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, forgot to tell you. Not going to be doing that." So the organizers had to send out an email, obviously, to everybody who had bought the $125 package for a 4-hour football camp to go meet George Pickens and get, the good football fundamental drill tutelage that you're going to get in 4 hours in a Pittsburgh park. They sent out this email that is just scathing of George Pickens. Normally an organization would go through, they'd be like, "Look, we had a thing happen. We lost George Pickens, and we're going to press on." They went on and on about how unprofessional he was and how disappointed they were and devastated the community should be for his disregard for everyone who had paid to be a part of this camp. Now, lo and behold, it comes out that Pat Freiermuth is actually going to step in and save the day here. So he'll be the Steelers superstar attending said camp. But it just doesn't stop. And who's shocked again?
Nothing George Pickens does surprises me at this point.
No.
So
think about all the kids that are going to be crying because George Pickens are going to be showing up at this thing.
2. There'll be 2 of them. They'll go, "Hey, George Pickens in here. Hey, it's Pat Freiermuth." Children are simple. Just, "Hey, look at this thing over here. Don't worry about that." It's like when kids fall down. "No, you're okay," and then they just go, "You're right. What was I crying about?" I have two outside stories. Neither one of them is really big enough. They're both just really funny to me.
Right.
Did you actually watch any of the NBA draft last night?
I did not.
Okay. I did, and I really only did it for one purpose. Mm-hmm. I already knew who the first 3 picks were. There was only one name that I cared about at all, and it was Ace Bailey.
Yep.
Ace Bailey is one of those – I don't really have an NFL comp to this. He's one of those players you look at and go, "Man, you could be really good," or you could be working at Bass Pro Shops 3 years from now. And neither one is really going to shock me any more than the other. Throughout the process, he had said, I'm not going on visits to Charlotte. I'm not going to Utah. The rumor was he was trying to get himself to Brooklyn or Washington or one of the others. What I heard was he was trying to get to a playoff team. So he was trying to get all the way to the back end of the lottery to Oklahoma City or Houston, or there were a handful of teams that I had heard.
Yeah.
Well, You ever heard the old saying that the pathway to hell is paved with good intentions?
Mm-hmm.
This is living proof. Because with the 5th pick last night, guess who took Ace Bailey? The Utah Jazz. The exact team he was trying to stay away from. I've never seen somebody as unhappy to have a hat on their head as he was to have that Jazz hat on his head.
I love it.
Then you win a few more picks, and on the clock were the Toronto Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
They make their selection. They pan the camera over to said selection. It was, I'm trying to remember his name now, Colin Murray Boyles from South Carolina.
Okay.
They catch him on camera. He stands up, he's hugging his family, and he just goes, falafel, real loud, as basically to say, I really did not want to go to Toronto. How do you come back from that? Like when your first response to a team drafting you is to say that, how do you look at your teammates and go, yeah, guys, I'm glad to be here?
I don't know. It baffles me sometimes the attitude of these guys, like the hubris of the generation is just off the charts. I feel like it's so much more than it was when we were coming up.
Oh, for sure it is.
We've had our divas, right? Over the years, there have been the Allen Iversons and we can go on and talk about the head cases that have come through sports. But it's stuff like this. Like Chris Womack and I talked yesterday a lot about Ace Bailey. Like the fact that you even feel like you can orchestrate this as a 18-year-old kid. The hubris in that just doesn't sit right with me.
It's not hard to figure out.
Right? I know draft picks have done this before, have tried to orchestrate where they go. And the whole Larry Bird story. Y'all, if you don't know that story, look into that. Well, I get it. This happens. But it just doesn't sit well with me.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to figure out. You got a kid here that was the number 2 prospect in the country. He's got 200-some-odd thousand followers on Instagram. And he lives in an echo chamber of people have told him his whole life that he's awesome.
Yeah.
I hate to break this to you. And I'm sure people think I'm a crotchety old man and all. I don't care. I'm a realist. I've spent my entire life hiring people to do jobs, and I've seen 1,000 Ace Baileys come into my office. You think you're way more than you are. And I don't know. He could end up being awesome. The chances of that are not real high. And if you don't believe me, go look at the 5th through 13th picks of the NBA draft over the last, 10 years, and look how many names that you go, I think that guy worked on my car yesterday. Because you know what he didn't do? Play in the NBA.
Right.
And if he did, I don't know where he played.
Right. That graveyard's real crowded.
There's a lot of guys that were lottery picks in the NBA that are now the starting power forward for the Saskatoon Muxoxes of the Canadian Basketball League.
What the hell's a Muxox?
I don't know. I may have made it up. I'm not sure.
Now I got to know if that's an actual thing. Musk ox. A musk ox.
Is it musk ox? I thought it was musk ox for some reason. Musk ox.
Musk.
The musk oxen.
Yeah, it looks like a woolly mammoth and an ox had a baby.
So it looks like an animal version of me.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. It certainly does.
My other story. This is the one that came from
right in the middle.
Oh, sure. And I can totally do that. I do it sometimes when I get out of the shower, and I'm like, I look like a Whittle boy with a part right down the middle. I look like there was a moose in Ren and Stimpy that I kind of look like. And it always makes me laugh every time I do it. Anyway, my other story came from Soaring Eagle. I think universally we can say the worst decision in NFL history was the Deshaun Watson Cleveland Browns thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Denver Broncos are batting a pretty solid third or fourth in that order in their decision to make the move on Russell Wilson.
Right.
Russell wanted to make it worse. This comes from Zach Stevens, who is a beat writer for the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson asked for a fully guaranteed deal from the Denver Broncos. Would you like to take a guess at the numbers he floated out there? Now, this was originally reported by Pablo Torre, which means take it for what it's worth.
$325 million.
The same man that still to this day will tell you that North Carolina banned Bill Belichick's girlfriend. It didn't happen, Pablo. Although I did hear he took her to Claire's to get her ears pierced over the weekend. So, good for them. They're doing stuff. 7 years, $350 million, fully guaranteed. How do you even say that out loud? Like, if you're Russell Wilson, how do you even look at the Denver Broncos and say that with a straight face?
Fully guaranteed $50 million a year.
At 30-some-odd years old.
Whew.
Are you smoking recreational crimes?
Yes. Yes, he is. If that's an actual thing that he said, he needs to be drug tested. He may be dumber than President Trump thinks AOC is.
A stupid woman. She is a stupid woman. Sorry. I was doing that before the show. He was committed to getting that into the show at some point.
I cannot hear it. Wow. $350 million guaranteed over 7 years. Yikes.
I just want to know
to the 4-year contract that they signed.
I just want to know how people get where does that come from? And the two stories now that I'm thinking about, they kind of tie into each other. Ace Bailey and Russell Wilson. Russ, you were at least good at one time. Mm-hmm. Ace Bailey's a lottery ticket at best. Where does that hubris come from? Like, I can't even fathom how that would be like me walking into the offices at iHeart when my contract expires and go, yeah, you know what? I like it here. I want to keep doing this. And I think we can settle on a deal for $47 million. I went ahead and drew it up. You just put your John Hancock right there at the bottom and we get this ship on the road.
All you got to do is just sign at the bottom. And this will be a done deal.
Press hard, 3 copies. Let's go. I can't fathom that.
I mean, I guess you got to start, right? It's like it's a negotiation. So I'm going to start high. But that seems a little high to start.
How do you think that negotiation went? I want 7 years, $350 million. Okay, Russ, we're going to counter at 4 weeks for $72. How does
My
that
response
sound?
would have been, all right, you've got 75 seconds to rethink that or get the hell out of my office.
All right, Russ, let's play a game.
I'm going to need you to whittle that down just a little bit and let's live on planet Earth for a little while.
All right, Russ, we're going to play a game. You're at 7 years, $350 million fully guaranteed. I'm at 1 year, $2 million. We're going to play a game. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called Rochambeau, and we're going to go first. And I have taken the steps of I've brought in my 7-iron out of my golf bag, and I'm going to use that as a prop. Your call.
Right. Not a chance in the world.
Speaking of Rochambeau, it's time to talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Indeed, the NFC offseason grades here in the Sportsocracy. Follow us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. The Dallas Cowboys, well, look, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. I like the headline here. What else are we working with the Cowboys?
I don't understand how anybody watched this team last year and thinks they're discernibly better this year. I mean, can you explain that to me? Because I don't get it.
Offensively, you'll be better because Dak Prescott is healthy, because you have another weapon with CD. I think the offense will be better.
All right, so but hold on. But before you go any further, and this is always what people say to me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really, honest to God, think Cooper Rush was the problem with the Dallas Cowboys last year?
I honestly believe Dak Prescott is 4 times the quarterback that Cooper Rush is.
I'm not going to tell you that's not true. That's not the question that I asked, though. When you looked at that team last year, did you really value that Cooper Rush was the problem? Or was the problem that you had CeeDee Lamb and the San Antonio Brahmas in terms of your weapons? I hate to tell you this, you're kind of still in the same boat. I still don't think you have a running back.
Okay.
I mean, is Javonte Williams honestly markedly better than Rico Dowdle? He was, and then he got hurt, and he's never looked like the same guy again.
It's a lateral move.
I can agree on lateral move. Miles Sanders, that really sending you because it's not doing much for me.
No.
Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa, and I just look at this team. You're still broken. You added George Pickens. Whoop-de-doo. And look, I like George Pickens. I think he's a good receiver in the NFL. I think your 1 and 2 are fine. And then I go to the other side. Then I go to the defense and go, yeah, I don't love that. I don't love that. I don't think you have a defensive tackle on this team outside of Diggy Zua, in spite of the fact you just keep taking them.
Mm-hmm.
Your edge rushers are fine. Your secondary does less than nothing for me. I don't like the back half. Meanwhile, you're in a division with A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Malik Neighbors. This does not feel like a recipe for success to me. Now, they're not as bad as I said they were. I think this is a 7-win team. I like what they did in the draft. I think they had one of the best drafts in the NFL, which is saying a lot when I didn't like your first-round pick. That's hard to do. But I don't know that the guys that I like are going to be huge impact guys this year. Mm-hmm. Does Donovan Ezeraku change this defense? Not really. Savon Ravel, I don't even know that he'll play for the vast majority of this year.
Really?
Well, I mean, he had an ACL. He's not going to. He probably starts on the PUP list.
Okay.
So I mean, you're not going to have him for 6 weeks anyway. And I mean, where does he fall in? You took him in the 3rd round, so it's not like you're super committed to the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy much of this. This feels like the Dallas Cowboys of basically the last 25 years. You're good, you're not great, and I don't really think you're a threat to anybody.
Well, you're good in spots, but it doesn't feel like there's going to be much, as you said, to write home about on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, I guess if your secondary can stay healthy, I mean, they can make plays, but we talk time and time again about how that is, one of the biggest, to be the nicest I can on it, risk-reward secondaries in the NFL with Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs.
Sure. And look, we've got a comment. We have a comment in the YouTube chat of Brandon Hollum said the Cowboys could go 10-7. Looking at that schedule, I can't tell you you're wrong. Mm-hmm. They could go 10-7. Are they a threat to any team that you know is good?
No.
Do the Philadelphia Eagles look at Dallas and go, Rrr. NFL teams have a little bit of input into who they play when they win a Super Bowl, and then you hang the banner in your stadium? It should tell you something that every person I've talked to has said Philadelphia is stoked that it was Dallas. Because we're going to come out, hang a banner, beat their brains out, and roll into week 2.
Well, how are they going to stop them? That's the question. All right, one of Dallas's biggest problems last year was they couldn't stop the run. Did they?
They still can't.
Did they do anything to fix that?
I think that's the thing that's always kind of cracked me up about Jerry Jones. It's like a fixer. The Dallas Cowboys have been a fixer-upper house for 30 years. And he just keeps painting. Like, you've painted the walls 22 times. The paint is fine. You're not dealing with the structural integrity of the house. I could not tell you the last time they had a legit top 5 defensive tackle in this league. I couldn't tell you the last one. But we might be going all the way back to the mid-90s since they've had a guy in the middle of that defense that I felt really, really good about. And I love Ezraku. I love Savon Ravel. At the end of the day, you added 2 pieces. What I'm actually happy about your offseason, you added pieces that were already to a point a strength. And if you don't want to go that far, you would have invested in it. You have like 6 pass rushers. You didn't want to pay DeMarcus Lawrence. I understand that. He looked 1,000 years old last year. You still have Sam Williams. Randy L. said Leon Lett. That was the name that I kept wanting to say, and I never said it. I don't know. I don't think there's a lot there.
Leroy Glover.
That was on the backside.
That was the last one.
That was
the last Pro Bowl defensive tackle they had was Leroy Glover in 2005.
And he was on the backside of his career because he had played almost his entire career elsewhere. We do have a super chat from Red Sea that is one shred of hope for Dallas, and I do agree with him on this. He said, for what it's worth, I do think their run scheme will be better after they stole the Cardinals' offensive line coach, Clayton Adams. I don't disagree with you there. The problem is, I'm not worried about the interior of the line. I'm still worried at tackle. I'm very worried about their tackles because I don't think either one of them are any good. And so you've got a really good interior offensive line. Okay, awesome. I don't love the running back that's going to be running behind it. Javonte Williams looked like he was stuck in quicksand, and Miles Sanders looked like he was abducted by space aliens, and they replaced him with a guy that looked exactly like him and had none of the athletic ability.
Off-season grade for the Dallas Cowboys. What you got?
I'm going C. I like what you did in the draft, so I can't really put you any further than that. But, I mean, the George Pickens thing, you added another head case to the room.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. NFC East off-season grades continue after the break.
ESPN Asheville.
We're clear.
Thank you.
Your mountain weather forecast.
The high today should climb up to 92 degrees, and as temperatures heat up, some showers and thunderstorms may move in this afternoon. Another round of rain is possible this evening with clouds and patchy fog overnight, with the low dropping to 67. The high on Friday headed to 88 degrees with showers and thunderstorms settling in through the afternoon hours. And if you'll be out during the weekend, you may encounter some afternoon and evening thunderstorms. High temperatures on Saturday and Sunday should hit the mid to upper 80s. I'm Jeff Maher from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Nissan is here for you at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
For a limited time until supplies last, assembled with U.S. and imported parts.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS consumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Why'd I go to the doctor?
One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the root call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in Asheville has 2 things that all Sportsocracy fans crave: bold flavors and big portions. Oh, yeah. And they've got the balls. Bear's famous bear balls are packed with mac and cheese, pulled pork, cornbread, and deep fried and then topped with bacon and cheese sauce. This is the place to be. Live music on Saturdays and the first Sunday of every month. They partner with the Guitar Bar to host Mr. Jimmy's Barbecue Blues. Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville and South Asheville.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. Whether you're hitting the trails, hitting the water, or hitting the golf ball, we have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. We know that the mountains are calling, the open road awaits, and that pool party is ready to rock. So head on over to Ingles and stock up on all the goodies to get you through your summer of freedom. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is no small matter.
Big things are happening.
It is a big deal what is going on.
These are big events.
Some might even say
huge. This is huge news.
And to keep up
with what's happening in the Middle East.
This is not World War III.
You'll need massive amounts of information.
Massive. On the anti-ICE riots.
On trade deals and tariffs.
On the one big beautiful bill.
Check in for the latest on every big story.
There's no bigger story right now.
On News Radio 570 WWNC.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we're Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo! From the Ingalls studio,
WPEK Fairview,
WMXF Waynesville,
W225CJ Candler,
the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, green. That's green. Enter it now.
Go to ESPNAVL.com to play, and good luck.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat. You can watch us live in the Ingalls studio and the NFLdraft.net. Mullet Manor finishing out this week before next week's holiday vacation. We'll be taking some time off to celebrate the birth of America.
I don't feel as good about the manor now. I feel like I'm in the inferior mullet manor.
Oh, well, yeah. Jeremy found him a beach house that is actually named Mullet Manor.
So when we found this last night, Amy looked at me and because her brain works a much more efficient, better way than mine. Mm-hmm. She said, "Do you know how much it is to stay in this house for a month?" And I went, "Why would we do that?" And she went, "Well, I mean, would you want to stay at the beach for a month?" Well, I mean, I hadn't thought of it that way. How much is it to do that? She was like, "It's $4,000. I went, "Okay." So next year, the month after the draft, we will be staying in the Tybee Island mullet manor. And if you want to come hang out, come on down.
You got to make sure you get away for a little while. Okay. All right. I like it. It is another day of off-season grades here in the Sportsocracy. NFC East on the docket today. The Dallas Cowboys get a big old C for their offseason from Flostradamus. You didn't really do a whole lot to improve this team other than in the draft, which he gave you kudos for. So let's start out with the champions here at the top of the hour. Philadelphia Eagles.
I want to hear your opinion on this. I kind of set what I was going to say up on Monday. I want to hear your opinion on Philadelphia, and then I will give you mine.
My take on the Eagles is I know that the cast changed a little bit. You had some names depart, but I don't know that any of it is really anything that makes me think that you're going to take a step back this year. Josh Sweat hurts. Brandon Graham retiring, that's more of a locker room thing in my eyes. Milton Williams, sure, good talent. Hate to see him go. But I have depth at that position like nobody else in the NFL. I don't know that anything really changes for me for the Philadelphia Eagles this year. They rolled to a Super Bowl title last year, and they are the team to beat to me for this year.
I can't vehemently disagree with anything that you just said.
Uh-huh.
Here is my fear. We do this a lot, where a team wins a title and you just assume that it's just going to keep being hunky-dunky.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia is one of the most talented rosters in the league. That's not new information. That's not new news.
Right.
The thing that bothers me as I look at Philadelphia, you didn't beat a ton of teams last year. Yeah, you went 14-3, but there's a lot of Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, Pittsburgh Steelers, Carolina Panthers, Jacksonville Jaguars. You had an impressive run in the playoffs. And now I feel like people are looking at Philadelphia like they're infallible. And I've read this book before. I've read the book of Super Bowl champion that the roster gets pilfered because you have a bunch of guys hit free agency and you think it's just going to be fine. I'm going to give you a list of things that happened last year. I want you to tell me if these are replicable. Jordan Mailata was the best left tackle in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Is that replicable?
Probably not, but it'll be close.
I think that probably is. That probably is replicable. You had one of the most efficient offensive lines in the NFL. Mm-hmm. You had a defense that was pretty evil.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got 4 new starters on the defense. Is the defense replicable to do what they did last year, statistically? Can they be the best defense in the NFL by 33 yards a game? They were 33 yards a game better than any team in the league.
I think they can.
I don't. I don't. And as a matter of fact, I don't just think they can't. I'm so confident they can't, I will bet anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
Any physical thing you want, I will bet on that. And now here's why I'm so confident of that.
How are they workers?
How are they worse?
Yeah.
You lost 4 starters. Mm-hmm. You have Keely Ringo playing as your second outside corner. I'm not saying they're going to turn into the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm saying they're not going to, and I promise you I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
They were 33 yards a game better than every team in the NFL. Do you know the last time that happened? Do you know the last time that anybody was even close?
No.
Buffalo Bills 2021.
Okay.
They were just a fraction shy. If you actually try to get better than Philadelphia was, you have to go back to the Baltimore Ravens in the early 2000s. You know where Buffalo was the next year?
Where's that?
6th. Okay. I don't think it's untoward to say that could happen to Philadelphia. Last year, by PFF grade, Jalen Hurts was the 12th best quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Is that replicable?
Yes.
I
feel like that's who he is.
I don't know that I agree with you.
You think it'd be worse than that?
It's not him as an overall quarterback. It was him as a passer that bothered me so much. If you're not that incredibly imposing defense, which they were, they suffocated the life out of virtually everyone they played, including the good teams. I'm not diminishing anything Philadelphia did last year. I'm saying we do this with Super Bowl champions over and over and over and over and over again. And you know what happens? They make the playoffs and they get beat. Outside of the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots, it has been this way for 35 years. And we're just chalking it up that Philadelphia is just so much better than everybody else. And I'm looking around the NFC going, do you understand how deep the NFC is right now? Do you understand how good the Washington Commanders are? Do you understand how good all of the teams in the NFC North could be? Not telling you they will be, but historically, at least 2 of them will be. Tampa Bay and Atlanta are not going to be fun to mess with. And I think every team in the NFC West could win 10 games.
Ooh, do they have to play us again this year? Oh, see, they got to come to our house this year. That's another loss.
Your hubris with Philadelphia amuses me. They do keep losing to you, which is very odd.
They do. I think
here's what happens when you lose. When you lose guys like this, here's what happens. You didn't really replace them. All right, Howie's done a great job of keeping the roster stacked. So you lose Milton Williams, you replace him with Moro Ajomo. You lose Josh Sweat, you replace him with Jalix Hunt. All of those things are fine. And I'm going to use a line that's one of my favorite lines, and it was a Mike Tyson line. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. What happens if Jalix Hunt is not as good as a starter as he was as a situational? What do you do then? Jahad Campbell may not play a snap all year, from what I've been told. This could be a full red shirt for him. I didn't put any stock in the injury, and apparently there are people that are way more worried than I am. I am not confirming that. I'm just saying that report is out there. Your depth takes a shot when everybody gets promoted. And that's what you did. You have 4 guys that are sliding into the starting lineup. They were really good as spot fillers last year, role players. Now they have to be starters. And what happens if you have 3 or 4 injuries? I'm not telling you Philadelphia is going to crater into the ocean. I think this team's going to go 11-6 or 12-5. What I am cautioning people of is this pretense that they're just going to come out and run through the NFC again. This is not the same NFC that you played in last year. There are a lot of teams that are way better than they were last year. And you did a lot of things that are kind of hard for me to believe are going to happen again. Didn't say they were going to be bad, just look to that Buffalo Bills team. It was still good, but it wasn't as good, and virtually everything on the team regressed. They were still good. They were the 2 seed in the AFC.
As Gambit fan said in the YouTube comments, they lose 30 yards a game, though, as a defense, and they're still the best in the league based on how good they were last year. So even if they do take a step back, I mean, there's still that chance that, okay, we took a step back. We're still the best team in the league.
But you have to look at how they won last year. All right, so being the best defense in the league, that ain't good enough to win the way you won last year. Let me give you I've got to get to another screen here. Let me give you a little stat about Jalen Hurts. You know I have Jalen Hurts issues.
Yes.
When I can lean on you and all I have to do is run, Jalen Hurts can be a really legit quarterback in the NFL. Jalen Hurts threw 361 passes last year. Cooper Rush threw 308, and he only played 12 games. Daniel Jones threw 341 and played in 10. If you don't have that suffocating defense, the fact that you're having to hide him, and I'm sorry, you cannot look at this and tell me that you've got a guy that played 15 to 17 games, and he's down here with guys that played 11 and 10 and 12 and 10 and 12 and 12. That signals to me you're hiding a quarterback. And I don't think that's untoward to say.
Or
you know he's not that guy.
Back in the league, and we don't need to do that.
And now that's a wise point you made there. How many carries did Saquon Barkley have last year?
I don't know. 270.
345.
345.
That was in the regular season, bruh. He had another 91 in the playoffs.
Yep.
No one does that. You know why they don't do that? Go back and look at the history of running backs that had, by the way, I didn't even mention how many catches he had. If you look at guys historically that do that, you know what happens the next year? They never get back to right. Again, I'm not telling you Saquon Barkley's going to turn into Kareem Hunt. I don't know that he's going to be he had 2,500 yards rushing last year between the playoffs and the regular season. I don't like the chances of that happening again. And if you look at their schedule, there's a lot of pretty formidable defenses out there. I mean, I'm looking at a lot of Kansas City's, Los Angeles, Denver. Hell, I'll even throw Tampa Bay in there. They don't rush the passer all that well, but they can stop the run. Minnesota, Green Bay, which I don't think is great, but I think it's fine. Detroit's going to be improved. Chicago, I think, will be good. Vegas will be good to a point. And I think that Washington defense is improved. I'm just saying with Philadelphia, this context that, well, worked last year, we're just going to lather up and do it again. It's not quite that easy. It's not quite the, hey, we're just going to hand it to Saquon 400 times, which is what you did last year.
And they'll do it again this year.
I'll bet you they don't. I'll bet you anything they don't.
What? That they don't try to run the ball down everybody's throat every game?
Oh, no. What I said was he had 400.
Will stay the same.
And I didn't disagree with that. What I said was he had 433 carries last year.
Sure.
I'll guarantee you that doesn't happen again. And if it does, we'll probably be at his funeral in about October. Oh, if you're counting on A.J. Dillon, I mean, I got news for you. That's cute and all. A.J. Dillon ain't winning you squat. A.J. Dillon's not discernibly better than Kenneth Gainwell. Saquon Barkley is special. And I had this issue throughout the entire year. Saquon's 28 years old and had a checkered past of health. And guess where he is career-wise in terms of touches? He's at 1,900. Hey, Tank, what's the line I always tell you where running backs start to really show wear and tear? 2,000. I'm not telling you Philadelphia is going to crater into the ocean. But I keep listening to smart people say Philadelphia is going to go 15-2 or 16-1 and aggressively under. I think they are so much closer to Washington and Detroit and L.A. than these people are letting on. I'll still take them over anybody else. I will still, if I had to bet an amount of money that mattered to me, who is going to be the representative of the NFC, I would take Philadelphia because the highest percentage of outcomes says that's going to happen.
Yep.
But it's not this roll over and die that it was last year. I'm sorry, all of these teams got better and you got worse, and nobody wants to acknowledge that. I'm sorry, going from Josh Sweat to Jalix Hunt, that's a downgrade. And anybody outside of Jalix Hunt's family will tell you that. And I loved him probably more than any analyst in the country. Going from Milton Williams to Moro Ajomo that's a step back.
Uh-huh.
Having to play Jordan Davis legit big boy snaps because you don't have 14 defensive tackles anymore is a step back. And anybody that wants to challenge me on anything that I just said, I will happily have the discussion with you. Stats don't care about your feelings either. Because I can back everything I just set up statistically. And that's with them playing as reserves. Now they're having to play as starters. I'm not saying this team's bad. Never said that, never once said that. And I only keep saying that because people will listen to things that I say, and they will hear what they wanted me to say, not what I actually said. Your range of outcomes is not as high as it was last year. That's not spicy. That's not a hot take. I'm not trying to piss somebody off. It's just a fact.
Well, the range of outcomes. If the range of outcomes includes the Super Bowl, then that's just fine. You're in the right ballpark. Because this team is not going to be markedly worse than they were last year, in my opinion. Do they need a lot to happen? Sure. The team was built purposefully for this, though.
Mm-hmm.
It was the reason that they went out and they loaded up on 14 defensive tackles so they could find the right ones that will take over.
No doubt. I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong here.
Or when it happens. No.
I'm
just saying.
I've watched this story happen so many times with teams that win a Super Bowl or go to a Super Bowl, and the next year they look like they look like the sequel of a team that won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That team can get beat in the playoffs. Now, I will bet you anything you want Philadelphia, short of half the team gets hurt, is going to make the playoffs. What happens when you get there? And I'm not saying Philadelphia fans should be upset. Nothing like that. I'm just saying you're setting an expectation here. I just want you to remember you were ready to run your head coach and your quarterback out of town less than 12 months ago.
Right.
Now all of a sudden they're the second coming. And I'm just telling you, I've read this book before, and it doesn't tend to go the way you want it to.
Offseason great. Philadelphia Eagles, what do you give them?
I will say B-. I don't think in a vacuum anybody is a huge loss. It's the accumulation of all parts and the fact that you're counting on a lot of young guys. The best drafters in this league miss on guys from time to time. The depth is not going to be as good as it was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you can't win a Super Bowl.
But you kept killing the draft, and that's the important part. As long as you can keep doing that. Oh, I mean, we think, of course. It's a projection at this point, but I liked what they did in the draft.
As did I.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll talk about the Giants coming up next, and we'll leave a lot of time for Jeremy to talk about his new favorite team in the NFL when we come back.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Little one.
Have you officially adopted them, by the way?
September 19th and 20th, streaming live
You know,
only on Hulu.
I'm having the same problem with the NFL that I have with college. I'm dealing with all of these teams to such a point that I'm finding teams that I really don't like, and I'm finding teams that I really do. I really like dealing with the Washington Commanders. Obviously, I have a great end to the business. I really don't like dealing with a handful of other teams.
Has been assembling award-winning vehicles,
but I've got like 10 I like.
Here in America, and this summer,
I'll level with you. Everything I just said, Philadelphia's been easy to deal with.
From new tariffs. That's why we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder, so you can get the car you want.
So to answer your question, I haven't officially adopted anybody.
Nissan is here for you at the Nissan
But
Summer
I am
Sales
pretty
Event.
pro-Washington at this point.
For a limited time until supplies last, assembled with U.S. and imported parts.
Some
People just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like
Trying to stay more impartial. We talked about an irrelevant
drive-through.
Jets team way too much last year.
$6. Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
From iHeart Podcast. Before social media, before cable news, there was Alan Berg.
He was the first and the original shock jock.
That scratchy, irreverent kind of way of talking to people and telling them that you're an idiot and I'm going to hang up on you.
This is Live Wire, the loud life and shocking murder of Alan Berg.
And he pointed to the Denver phone book and said, well, there are probably 2 million suspects.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Live Wire, and listen now.
The iHeartRadio app now has presets. Just like in the car. You're our number one. Make us yours. ESPN Asheville, the mountain's favorite sports station, streaming 24/7. Your home for the Sportsocracy. Weekdays at noon. The Tar Heels and Atlanta Braves baseball.
Did you know that Ingles sells a huge variety of organic items? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Did you know that they have more local craft beer than any place else? Or that they have Energy Smart stores? Or that they professionally slice and package imported cheese from Europe? Did you know about their giant international aisle, local farm partnerships, curbside pickup, wine department? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville, introducing you to this summer's Parks Community Hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. A critical need exists today. Join us on June 27th at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Help save a life and donate blood, and make a direct impact in our community and support all of our community heroes. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Looking to buy or sell in Asheville? At Clarissa Sells WNC with eXp Realty, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County. Give us a call, 828-774-6343. We're here for what matters most, you.
The Sportsocracy.
Who are we going to cheer for on Sundays now?
All right, this is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, NFC East off-season grades. Let's talk about the New York Giants. That's a team I feel like it's hard to be a fan of. I mean, you got Malik Neighbors. Yeah, and you got Abdul Carter now. Yeah, other than that, there ain't a whole lot to celebrate with this team. But is Jackson Dart the answer? I mean, we know it's not Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston.
Here's my question about the Giants. How much leeway do any of these guys actually have? I hate that Jackson Dart went to the Giants. I absolutely despise it.
Because he'll be learning a new offense next year?
Yep. Yep. Because you're going to have him in that spin cycle of, I mean, because look, Brian Daboll's getting fired here. I mean, the owner of the team came out and said that both he and Joe Shane were on thin ice.
Yeah, I don't see a path where this season goes well. And if it doesn't go well, it won't go well enough for Brian Daboll to keep his job.
How many games do they have to win for Brian Daboll to come back?
7.
I think it's higher than that. I really do. I think it's higher than that. Like 7 and 10, you're still not even close to the play. I mean, you're 2 or 3 games out of the playoffs. That means the whole month of December you're playing for nothing.
Or the whole month of December you're making strides, right? The whole month of December, I mean, I don't even know who they got on the schedule.
I'm looking at it. It ain't pretty.
If it's puffy, is it? Well, I mean, last 3 games of the season, you got Minnesota, Las Vegas, Dallas. That's not bad.
So Minnesota that has
you could go
Minnesota with an
like
evil defense against a rookie.
They could go on like a 4-game run miracle run at the end of the season. Jackson Dart shows some improvement.
Okay.
And that might be enough to get Brian Daboll. Okay, well, we're almost there. Right? Jackson looked so good against the Cowboys last week of the season. That might be able to save his job.
Tank, I'm gonna level with you. And I mean this with all the respect and love in my heart.
Uh-huh.
If they're even competitive in 3 of those last 4 games, it will be an act of God. And I like Jackson Dart as much as anybody on this planet whose last name's not Dart.
Uh-huh.
The Minnesota Vikings will hurt your feelings. You throw a rookie out there against that defense that moves around, is so hard to read what they're going to do, they will kill you. And they could beat you 42-6. Washington will embarrass you. You have to go to Las Vegas in, oh, by the way, a flex game, which is... That's one of those little schedule quirks that can be such a nightmare because if Vegas is playoff competitive, which you and I both think they're going to be at least close, that could be a 1 o'clock West Coast game. Depending on how everything falls out, especially since they're in the West and they're probably going to be out there with Denver. They try not to have those in the same window. All of it's brutal. And just... even take that out. Let's just say they could be vaguely competitive in those games. Look at what they have before that. You start at Washington, at Dallas, Kansas City Chargers. They could have allowed 150 points in those 4 games, and I wouldn't even be vaguely surprised. Right. And if they've scored 30, I'll be shocked. Then you do get New Orleans. Hey, that's fun. Then you go Philadelphia, at Denver, at Philadelphia, San Francisco, at Chicago, Green Bay, at Detroit, at New England. This is a team that could be 1-12 going into week 13, coming out of week 13. And I wouldn't be surprised in the least.
Yeah.
I don't care if Jackson Dart comes out and has the ability to fly. It's not going to matter because Brian Daboll is already going to be working overnights at a gas station somewhere. The Giants just have so little hope to me. And look, I think the defense is going to be fine.
But all you have is hope, because you're starting from rock bottom. You're trying to rebuild one of the worst collections of players that we've had in the NFL in recent memory. Right, over the last couple of years, this roster tanked out. Now you've made some moves where you do have some interesting pieces, but this is going to be somebody else's job to finish.
How good can the defense be?
How good can they be? I mean, I don't know how to quantify that, but I mean, I feel
top
like
what in the NFL?
They could be top 14 or 15. I mean, you might be able to be top half of the league.
Oh, I think they could be top 10.
Really?
I resisted the urge to say top 5. When you started going, I thought, he's closer to me than I thought.
No,
that front 7 can be evil. That front 7 could be absolutely evil. The problem is, I don't think you could score on the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Hey, Malik Neighbors, awesome. Who's throwing it to him? Russell Wilson, who I don't know if you watched him in Pittsburgh last year, wasn't great. With far better weapons to work with. A far better collection of weapons to work with. Jameis Winston, who is 100% colorblind and maybe the funniest player in the NFL, he is also the most turnover-prone player in the NFL. Oh, by the way, I don't think you're going to be able to run a greasy peg up a cat's keister.
Really?
So,
okay.
No. How in the world do you think they're going to be able to run with Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, and Cam Scattaboo? Behind arguably the worst line in the league.
Well, now there's that. I mean, Andrew Thomas Schmitz is not bad.
He was terrible last year.
The rest of the line is not great.
Do you remember how much I liked John Michael Schmitz coming in the league?
You were a big fan, weren't you?
You're right. I was a big fan. I watched him last year, and I went, man, I'm glad Joe Douglas is smarter than me. Because Joe Tippmann was real good, and John Michael Schmitz was awful. Now, it could be the collection of talent, because you do have Greg Van Rotten on the outside of you, which anytime you're going into a season with him as a starter, your line sucks.
Yep.
Ask me, I'll know. The Jets did it for 2 years.
I was going to say he was once a cornerstone of a Carolina Panthers offensive line. That's kind of how you know.
Oh, he drove me nuts. If I die at 57 years old, I would have made it to 60 if Greg Van Rotten had never been a member of the New York Jets.
I mean, it's not going to be fun, but I don't think they're completely terrible. They're just way worse than everybody else.
Name me an offense in the NFL that you believe less in than the New York Giants.
Ooh, the New York Jets.
Oh, I don't agree with you at all. You go total yards. Are you kidding me? I get Breece Hall and you get Tyrone Tracy. I get Garrett Wilson and whatever else they have. You get Malik Neighbors, 3 yards a catch, Wan'Dale Robinson, and whatever Darius Slayton is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take the Jets 1,000 times out of 1,000. The Cleveland Browns were the one answer I would have taken and gone, they could be playing Dylan Gabriel. So, sure. Outside of that, there's not another one. At least not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I just see the Giants losing a lot of games 17-6.
Could happen. Off-season grade for the Giants.
D. I just don't think you did anything all that impressive. You overpaid Paulson Adebo, who I like to a point, but I mean, you're still starting Deontay Banks. You added Javon Holland that I like. You have 2 safeties that I like, but everything you did is on the defense. Mm-hmm. It's like you built up this beautiful house, and then you forgot to mow the grass. Because the offense is just a genuine grumper sandwich.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Your mountain weather for
clear.
Thank you.
Climb up to 92 degrees.
I'll be right back.
Heat up. Some showers and thunderstorms may move in this afternoon. Another round of rain is possible this evening with clouds and patchy fog overnight, with the low dropping to 67. The high on Friday headed to 88 degrees with showers and thunderstorms settling in through the afternoon hours. If you'll be out during the weekend, you may encounter some afternoon and evening thunderstorms. High temperatures on Saturday and Sunday should hit the mid to upper 80s. I'm Jeff Maher from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. There's more to Taco Bell's Luxe Cravings boxes than you'd expect. Unless you're expecting the choice between 3 lavish boxes of Taco Bell favorites, then you're spot on. Choose yours today, only at Taco Bell. For a limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
See things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue in Asheville has two things that all Sportsocracy fans crave: bold flavors and big portions. Oh, yeah. And they've got the balls. Bear's famous bear balls are packed with mac and cheese, pulled pork, cornbread, and deep fried and then topped with bacon and cheese sauce. This is the place to be. Live music on Saturdays and the first Sunday of every month. They partner with the Guitar Bar to host Mr. Jimmy's Barbecue Blues.
Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville and South Asheville.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. Whether you're hitting the trails, hitting the water, or hitting the golf ball, we have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. We know that the mountains are calling, the open road awaits, and that pool party is ready to rock. So head on over to Ingles and stock up on all the goodies to get you through your summer of freedom. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
We're back in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. It's 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 NFC off-season grades. Continuing here, and Jeremy is in love. And when the mullet's in love, anything can happen.
I'm in love with food right now. I think I've eaten in every break of the show. By the time I get back from the beach, George Costanza is going to be trying to pull a golf ball out of my blowhole because I'm going to be a beluga whale by the end of this.
You're going to you're going to have to go on the Liver King diet or something.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in the last hour.
Just steroids and organ meat.
Steroids, organ meat, and terroristic threats on Joe Rogan.
It's a story I was not expecting today. But
it's like the worst Mad Lib you've ever read.
Mm-hmm.
The Liver King was arrested for making terrorist threats against Joe Rogan. Okay, didn't see that one coming.
Jeremy, you are in love with the Washington Commanders. They've been pretty good to you. You've become good friends with some of their podcasters and such.
Sure
like
have.
That. And the commies, as I like to affectionately refer to them as.
Nope, you don't. Nope, not now. Now I will actually fight you over that stupid name because they are the Washington Commanders, not the Washington Communists.
They made a hell of a jump last year. Can they do it again? Can they repeat it? And are they more of a threat than they were?
Well, they're definitely more of a threat than they were. I don't think anybody would not agree with that. You added a second legit receiver in Deebo Samuel. By the way, how many number 2 receivers in the NFL would you take over Deebo Samuel right now? Give you the obvious one in T. Higgins.
There's probably 4 or 5.
I don't know that I could get to a second one.
Oh, I mean, I'll take Chris Godwin all day.
Coming off Achilles? I'll pass.
Yeah.
Or ACL. I don't remember which one he did.
Right before Debo's next ankle injury? Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I won't. Not for what he can give you. Not for what he can do with this team. You give Jaden Daniels that move piece that you can move all over the formation, it just protects you from a regression. Look, Jaden Daniels is the 5th highest-rated quarterback in the NFL last year. In a league with Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow, he was 5.
Yep.
And I don't see a regression coming.
What makes him different than C.J. Stroud, who did the same thing 2 years ago?
I don't believe Stroud was that high. He might have been because he didn't throw many interceptions. Stroud was 13 in his rookie year. By the way, this is PFF grade, not quarterback rating, because quarterback rating is the dumbest thing we do. Quarterback rating is moronic. Like Baker Mayfield's the fourth best quarterback in the league. Your statistical formula there is stupid. Okay. What keeps – all right, so, I mean, I'm going to answer that question, but I'm going to answer it the only way I know how.
Okay.
What's going to keep Jaden Daniels from doing what C.J. Stroud did? The fact that Jaden Daniels is better than C.J. Stroud. I mean, I don't think that comes as a shock to anybody that's listened to me for more than 15 seconds. I was drunk on Jaden Daniels. And even I didn't think he was going to be as good as he was last year. C.J. Stroud, I bought into it when I should have seen some flags. But even with him, I don't think a lot of his is his problem. I just think the line is terrible. Houston, another team that really likes to invest in things that they already have. I don't have those fears with Washington. You know, Washington had some line issues last year. You go out and get Laramie Tunsil. Mm-hmm. You draft Josh Connerly, and I do think Connerly's going to start on the right side. How things look in the middle, I don't know. I think Coleman ends up sliding into guard, and Cosme will be at right guard, and then you got Biotish at center, and Wiley's the swing. That's how I think it goes.
Okay.
But, I mean, I look at that with Deebo Samuel and Terry McLaurin, that offense should be good. It should be really good. Also, don't shoot the messenger here. Don't be shocked if Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt winds up playing way more than you think he does.
Really?
Anytime I start hearing the same name from every person I talk to, it's a pretty good indicator that he's good. He's good at football.
But is that just camp hype, or is that legit? Because I mean, we've heard that before.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of the name of they had a running back a few years ago that got all this hype in the preseason, and like never even saw the field.
Washington did?
I can't remember who that was. Yeah.
Roy Halou was the last one I really remember.
Roy Halou was a good one, but I think he actually played a little bit.
Nope, he didn't. It's funny that his name came up. He was on a video I watched earlier. I think his leading the most yards he ever had in a season was like 437 or something ridiculous like that.
Okay. Right on. So, okay, all right.
Darius Geis is who you're talking about.
Darius Geis was a good one.
And now Darius Geis also, he did some stuff he wasn't supposed to.
Right, who was the kid that set like records?
What kind of records? Buffalo. Competitive eating records, or
no? Yeah, competitive eating records, Jeremy. There was a kid that rushed for like 400 yards at some small school and it got drafted.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Everybody was crazy about him, and didn't do nothing.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Because I liked him.
Right.
Jared Patterson.
That was it.
Jared Patterson was also about 5'4".
Yeah, everybody's crazy about Jarrett Patterson, and then all of a sudden it was just, oh yeah, he had 6 carries last year. So we've seen that before. Look, Washington is no doubt very talented, right? They made the Final Four last year when nobody expected them to, and now the expectation is what I'm looking at. It's the expectation and the pressure that's going to be put on Jaden Daniels. And is Jaden Daniels that different cat? Is he the closest thing we've got to an elite prospect? Right? Is he worthy of the Joe Burrow love in the third year? Right after he had the injured year the first year, and then the second year came out and was amazing. And then immediately he just became the household name. Josh Allen, the same thing. Are we ready after a year to say that Jaden Daniels has officially arrived on the elite status? And he's here to stay.
I am. But I might be a little biased.
Mm-hmm.
I also loved him coming out. I'm not shocked that Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback in last year's class.
No.
I said it 4,000 times.
Right.
So, I'm not shocked. We told you in the preseason, Washington's going to be better than you think. The question is, can they take the jump? Because look, what I'm getting ready to say is not a shot at Washington. A little bit of what they did last year was smoke and mirrors to a little bit of an extreme. Mm-hmm. Not that they weren't good. I just don't think anybody really looked at Washington. They came on late. There was a stretch in the season when they were, I don't know, after they lost to Baltimore probably, you would not have looked at them and gone, hey, this is the second best team in the NFC. They got hot late.
Mm-hmm. They got real hot late when the schedule leaned out and you played Tennessee and New Orleans and Atlanta and Dallas.
Sure.
Now the Philadelphia game, obviously, that you can't. I can't say anything against that. That was one of the all-timer games.
That's another part of. That's another way to answer what you asked me about C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
What's the difference between C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels? Well, Jaden Daniels had 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 3,568 yards. I don't see any way that those aren't his floor. Mm-hmm. Do you disagree with that?
I do not.
Do you remember what C.J. Stroud did as a rookie?
I do not.
C.J. Stroud's his box line, 4,108 yards, 23 touchdowns. He threw 5 interceptions, and he was only sacked 38 times.
Yep.
That's kind of hard to duplicate. So, I mean, and that's part of it, is that Washington was that good. And I don't think they did anything that's non-replicable. I didn't think the line was great. I didn't think the defense was great. I thought Jaden Daniels was great. And I think he's going to be great again. Now, am I telling you they're going to get to the NFC Championship game? Or are they going to get to the Super Bowl? It wouldn't surprise me. It also wouldn't surprise me if they lost in the first round. Mm-hmm. I mean, the NFC is competitive. Everything I said about Philadelphia, I'll say the same thing about Washington. This is a deeper conference now. This is going to be survival of the fittest. And, I mean, I think Washington is positioned as well as anybody. They didn't lose anybody that I'm losing my mind about. Mm-hmm. Did they for you?
Not really. I mean, Jonathan Allen. But, I'm all right.
And Allen was fine.
There, but I'm okay.
Allen was fine, but I don't think it's a huge. I don't think it's a huge hole on that team. I don't really care. It should also tell you something that of all the guys that were on this team last year that are no longer on the roster, 7 of them have signed in other places, and it's a whole lot of Dante Fowler, Benjamin St. Juste, Jeremy Chin. Okay. I mean, it would have been nice to have had him back, but I'm not. I mean, going from him to Quan Martin, I don't think is a huge step back.
Right.
And then I look at that front and go, I think the front could be better. I think the secondary is going to be better. I love what they did in the draft. I think Trey Amos is a day one starter that pushes Sainer still into the slot. I like all of those things. I like this team.
Yep. It's a really well-built team. I only ask the questions. I'm not casting aspersions. I'm not saying there's a step back coming here. I only ask the questions because we've been in this situation before.
Sure.
We
were in it a year ago.
Come in. We've seen a rookie come in. He was unbelievable, better than anything we could have hoped for, and everybody chalked it up of he's elite now. Right? I can remember having the discussions with you about are we sure? Are we putting Jalen Hurts when he had his rookie year? We put him in the top 5, and then he's not as good as that one year. And then we did it again with C.J. Stroud. He gives you one great year, and you go, oh, my God, it's the second coming. Well, no, it was just another letdown. Jaden Daniels pops onto the scene, gives you something you've never seen before, and I'm kind of with you, like with Philadelphia. Like, we're just chalking this up that it's going to be great again. And it may not be. But this team, regardless, even if there is a step back for Jaden Daniels, the team should be good enough around him that they will be competitive not only in the division in the NFC East, but also for the conference title, I do believe, just like they were last year. The offseason grade for the Washington Commanders officially is what, Flostradamus?
Gary said that I should duplicate the Billy Bob Thornton. It's 10. I would give it a solid A.
Okay.
I would give it a solid A.
There you have it. You're in the Sportsocracy. ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400 AFC East off-season grades, coming up next.
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Thank you.
Mountain weather forecast.
The high today should climb up to 92 degrees, and as temperatures heat up, some showers and thunderstorms may move in this afternoon. Another round of rain is possible this evening with clouds and patchy fog overnight, with the low dropping to 67. The high on Friday headed to 88 degrees with showers and thunderstorms settling in through the afternoon hours. And if you'll be out during the weekend, you may encounter some afternoon and evening thunderstorms. High temperatures on Saturday and Sunday should hit the mid to upper 80s. I'm Jeff Maher from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by eBay. Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides,
Start at the Pats,
rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at the prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
For more information about contests on this station, go to ESPNAVL.com.
Since 19... Knowing Nissan is here for you at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
For a limited time until supplies last, assembled with U.S. and imported parts.
Buying a new house might make you say,
"Shut the front door."
"Winning!
This is my house now, baby."
But you actually need to say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there to help you choose the coverage you need.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Are you like millions of Americans who avoided filing their taxes this year because you're afraid you'll owe the IRS thousands, tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, you don't need to be afraid anymore. Tax Relief Advocates has the solution. We can file your back tax years and may be able to reduce or even eliminate what you owe. With over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, we've helped over 100,000 Americans just like you permanently and painlessly resolve their IRS debt. A resolution specialist is waiting to speak to you now, who will let you know what tax debt reduction you may qualify for. Don't wait. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call our tax relief hotline now to see what you qualify for at 800-511-2503. 800-511-2503. Again, that's 800-511-2503. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Morgan Lynch with Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of urgency, timely, responsive, focused, prioritizing you as our customer and the community we serve. To do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience a Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Looking for something fresh on Thursday nights? Join us at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue for WTF Thursdays. That's Women to the Front, a new live music series spotlighting incredible solo female artists. Every Thursday from 6:30 till 8:30 p.m. in partnership with WTF Fest, we're bringing powerful performances and good vibes to the stage. It's free, it's fun, and it's all about supporting women in music. WTF Thursdays at Bear Smokehouse Barbecue, downtown Asheville.
Mountain Graphics and
Do you think
Showtime
about really
Sports have
stupid
teamed up
things
under
before
a
you go on
new
vacation?
Local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best.
What?
Like, should I unplug the
Whatever
television?
You, your team, or your high quality screen printing, embroidery, and
No, I can't say that I have.
or Showtime Sports.
I do every time we go on vacation.
That's MTN.
And it's like, I think about it for a second and go, that was a stupid thing I just thought.
SportsAVL.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is a great plan.
When events are happening,
these recent events,
you should plan on listening.
What should our involvement be in this conflict?
Talk about what I have planned.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Check in.
That's got to be the end state.
On News Radio 570, WWNC.
Good morning, guys. I just want to warn you, traffic is tough out there.
We are here for you to tell you how to keep safe.
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can.
To provide the music, talk, and sports you love. And to deliver the news that matters to you. We are the voices you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
From the Ingles studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your
I just
car,
ate a full chicken breast with my hands like a hobo.
Free never sounded so good.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just
I love eating breasts with my hands.
sign, pay. That's pay. Enter it now.
Go to ESPNAVL.com to play, and good luck.
Live from the Ingles studio,
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
the Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Sportsocracy, heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, so you can join us in the chat. Take a look out there if you're driving around western North Carolina, in the Asheville area. I've been hearing nothing but thunder clacking outside of this window for the last 10 minutes.
Does this storm here every day now? Like
Yes,
it's going to look like the end of time about 2 o'clock every day.
Well, look, when it's 92 degrees outside, yeah, you get those. The humidity kicks up, and man, we do have like some serious like Charleston, South Carolina type weather lately.
Ginger Billy once said that
humid, hot, and every afternoon like clockwork, 2-3 o'clock, just the bottom falls out of the sky.
Ginger Billy once said that Orlando was Satan's boo hole, and I have come to the realization that I think Asheville is Satan's tramp stamp. Because it's 5 billion degrees, and every single day there's lightning that looks like I can't go outside or I could die.
You could.
Oh, by the way, have we ever uncovered the myth that is you can't take a shower during a lightning storm?
I mean, you can. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. When I was a kid, my parents used to tell me, you can't take a shower, there's lightning outside. I don't think that's how this works. Like, I mean, you don't want to tell your parents, hey, I think you're out of your mind. But that the math on that's not mathing. And
I mean, there's metal in the bathtub, and that could strike you. I don't know.
There's metal in the faucet. If you're riding the faucet, you got bigger problems than electrocution, brother. I mean, look. I'm just being honest.
If you had riding the faucet on your bingo card for today, you are a witch. I don't know. It's like when our parents grew up in the 1950s. It's like all of the bathtubs were made out of metal. I don't know, and maybe that's why that was a thing. Like it's storming, you got to get out of the bathtub. Like I can remember my mom was adamant. I can remember being in the bathtub as a child and it thundering outside and my mom running in and you gotta get out right now. Okay.
It's kind of like you can't eat. It's kind of like you can't eat. You have to wait an hour before you swim again. and you're 32 years old before you realize that's not a thing. Your parents just wanted you to sit your fat keister down and shut up for an hour. Like, let me read this book and just look. If you get in that pool, you'll drown.
Saf says houses are grounded and insulated. Yeah, I get
exactly.
That. But as a kid, we didn't know that. We didn't know any of that stuff was a safeguard against this.
We were stupid. See, we were stupid. We thought our parents were like the president of the world, and they told us stuff, and we went, "My mom and dad are the smartest two people I've ever met." Of course. You tell me something biblical, and then you realize, maybe not, because that doesn't make no sense.
His parents told him the same thing. Like, I mean, yes, Gary, water does conduct electricity. I get that, but it's not like you're in a swimming pool outside.
You're also not in a steady stream. It's a shower.
You're inside your house. Like, the lightning is not going to penetrate the roof and come into the bathtub where I am.
You have to have a steady stream, which is broken up in a shower.
I get the swimming pool idea. Right, I'm in a pool of water and lightning. Yes, I get that.
Now, on the other hand, if you're on a golf course, you should go inside.
Oh, sure. Don't carry metal on golf courses where you're the tallest thing around.
I used to play golf with a guy that got struck on a golf course, and we used to call him Twitchy. That was his nickname. Because, it's one cloud in the sky, and it didn't even have to be a dark cloud. It could be one white cumulus cloud. And there it goes. Like he's going to the clubhouse. Dave, that's not a rain cloud, but that's just a cloud.
Don't care.
That's just a cloud. He's like, you've never been struck by lightning. You don't know what it's like. You're right. You know why? Because I know the difference between lightning clouds and puffy clouds. That is a puffy cloud.
Puffy clouds.
Kind of like knowing the difference between a mean dog and a nice dog. Mm-hmm. You know, if an Akita gets loose, I'm going to go, I don't think I'm going to pet that dog. Pomeranian gets loose, I think I'll be fine. I'll just pick you up and squeeze, and you'll pee, and away.
Mm-hmm. All valid points about the bathing and lightning thing going on.
If you had us talking about lightning showers today.
Yeah.
No less than 9 kinds of showers could have come up on this show that would have surprised me less than lightning showers.
Off-season grades continuing here in the Sportsocracy.
That's called perception of the mind. You write the jokes, so I don't have to say it.
The AFC East, Jeremy, to me, this division has one very interesting team.
New England Patriots.
And it is the New England Patriots.
They're the interesting team to me.
I didn't think that we would be here necessarily. But here we are. I feel like this is the most interesting, spiciest team to watch because the range of outcomes for this team could be great. Right, like this team, I could see a path where, this doesn't really work out well and they're just fine. They're just a mediocre. I mean, I don't think they're going to be terrible.
Let's play a game.
But I feel like there's a high side here that could shock people.
All right, let's play a game.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the list of players that left the New England Patriots.
Okay.
And then I'm going to give you the list of players that came into the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Here's who left. Jacoby Brissett, Joe Milton, Jermichael Hasty, Chuma Okorafor, Wes Schweister, who actually came in and left in the same season, David Andrews, Dietrich Wise. That one hurts. I don't like losing D-Wise, but
not fun.
Devon Godshaw, Daniel Ukulele. I don't actually know how to pronounce that, but it looks like ukulele. Jawan Bentley, Sione Takitaki, Jonathan Jones, Joe Cardona, Joey Sly. Anything outside of Dietrich Wise there where you're going, oh, whatever will we do?
Nah. I mean, I do like Takis, but Not that much.
Oh, I really want the Wendy's Taki fries.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to do that on the way to the beach. Here's who you added: Mike Hollins, Morgan Moses, Garrett Bradbury, Stephon Diggs, Caleb Chason, Harold Landry, Milton Williams, Robert Spillane, Carlton Davis. Do you see a difference between those two lists?
Big difference.
A lot of those are real-life big boy NFL football players. The list that left was Dietrich Wise and 20 dudes that I may or may not ever sign in the NFL again. Like when the second most influential piece that you lost was Joe Milton, I don't think I'm overly worried about what you have lost. I think New England can be really, really good. The question is, how good?
Mm-hmm.
What is your answer to that question?
My how good can their good be? I mean, 10-7 is probably the ceiling.
I can't get there. Look, they're going to lose. I believe they're going to lose 2 to the Bills. I think they're going to lose 2 to the Bills because now you're good enough. You're going to catch their best shot. You're not going to catch them the way you have 2 out of the last 3 years.
Yep.
I think you probably lose 1 to the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Probably sweep the Jets. I will say you lose at least 2 of those games to the NFC South. Probably Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Lose at Cincinnati, lose at Baltimore, and then you lose 1 more stupid one. I think their high side's 9-8. Just because it's a young team and you're still learning, you're still putting all these pieces together, and the beginning of that schedule is not as pretty as I wanted it to be. But then there's a spot in the middle where I go, oh boy, you might win a lot of those games.
Mm-hmm.
You might win a lot of those games.
You're talking about the Saints, Titans,
Mm-hmm.
Browns, Falcons, Bucks, Jets lull in the middle of the season. That is a nice little honey hole for a gathering steam young quarterback team.
Oh, and by the way, I didn't even
the Raiders, Steelers, and Bills as 3 of your first 5 games is not. Those are not going to be fun defenses to face.
No, but I mean, I think they can win some of those. I'm just trying to set a bar that with New England, I'm trying to set a bar that is rational. Because what I really want to say is this team could go 11-6, and it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me. If you go through there and they sweep Miami, because I don't buy into Miami, and you catch one from the Bills, now all of a sudden we're talking about an 11-16.
Right.
I want to set a realistic bar where where the outcome of the season doesn't feel like a disappointment. And I think 9-8 is safe for this team.
Mm-hmm.
I love your quarterback.
I feel like as long as you show improvement, I mean, there is, or as long as your quarterback shows improvement, right? You see some steps forward for Drake May. He now has a legitimate weapon in Stephon Diggs, and let's say that hopefully goes well. I feel like your running game's going to be stronger.
No doubt.
Offense is going to be able to score more points.
Well, I mean, just look at the difference in what you replaced. You replaced, I'll go Kendrick Bourne with Stephon Diggs. Yeah, that's a huge jump forward. You replaced Antonio Gibson with Travion Henderson. Yeah, that's a huge step forward.
Right, but even if you slipped up and you lost some close games that you weren't supposed to, or some games that you felt like maybe you could have won in the end, just couldn't come up with a play at the end, and there were, a handful of those on the season, and you still only won 7 games. That's still an improvement.
No doubt.
Right? That's still hope. That's still looking at a team going, man, we're almost there. I think it's going to be a much I don't want to say much better, but I think it's going to be a better season than that.
Oh, I will say that. I will say that because I think it is going to be markedly better than that.
You're on that winning season line in 1 year. You've taken the jump from, top part of the draft to we might be a playoff team.
Look,
we catch a break or two, it could be there.
Something that we often do with the schedule, we look at the defenses that quarterbacks are going to play. We never do that backwards. When you have a good defense, look at the quarterbacks that defense is going to play. Geno Smith, Tua Tagovailoa twice, Aaron Rodgers, Bryce Young, Tyler Shuck, Cam Ward, whatever the hell Cleveland's going to do, Michael Penix Jr., Baker Mayfield, Justin Fields, Joe Burrow, probably Jackson Dart by that time, Josh Allen twice, Lamar Jackson. That's a lot of mediocre to bad quarterbacks that this team's going to play with a defense that I think is real good.
Yep. Secondary is good. Pass rush should be pretty formidable with Milton Williams and Harold Landry. I'm with you.
Randy L., one of our resident Patriot fans, said Keon White's going to be real good this year. And learn the name Efton Chisholm because he's going to play and be good. Efton Chisholm he's the hype machine for New England, and that's one that I actually kind of agree with.
Okay.
I loved him coming out of, what was it, Eastern Washington?
Yes, I believe that's right.
I loved watching his tape. I was dumbfounded when there are just certain guys that I watch throughout the draft process and go, how did that kid not get drafted?
New England Patriots offseason grade.
A+.
It's an A.
It's an A+ for me. I don't think you could have done it any better.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of it goes to the coaching change as well. You lump that in there.
The funny thing, we didn't even mention that. We did 10 minutes on everything this team did right in the offseason, didn't even mention the new coach, and that might be the 1A of their offseason.
Bingo. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the break, we're going to make you do it. We're going to make you talk about the Jets and Justin Fields.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in
You're clear.
Arena. September
Yay, let's talk about the Jets. Or let's not.
I'd rather talk about syphilis.
I'd rather talk about you sitting on the faucet again.
2 nights, 1 stage, superstar performances, and once in a
I about made you do a spit take on that one. I saw it. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I looked over.
Tickets now at AXS.com.
The big focus in America today is on your health, and more people are looking beyond pills and steroids and surgery. At QC Kinetics, they've been on the cutting edge of this medical revolution since 2018.
I'd rather hear that story about how your grandfather got gonorrhea in Thailand.
It's that harness your body's own healing power. The truth is, regenerative medicine used to be an alternative treatment, but now it's mainstream. And QC Kinetics is the nation's leader. Their well-respected protocols include potent and powerful cellular-level treatments to revitalize and restore damaged joint tissue. They're not masking.
Oh, I left my smoker in the other room. Right back.
Say goodbye to that chronic pain and live your best life. Learn more about this revolutionary treatment and get a free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
From iHeart Podcast. Before social media, before cable news, there was Alan Berg.
He was the first and the original shock jock.
That scratchy, irreverent kind of way of talking to people and telling them that you're an idiot and I'm going to hang up on you.
This is Live Wire, the loud life and shocking murder of Alan Berg.
And he pointed to the Denver phone book and said, well, there are probably 2 million suspects.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Live Wire, and listen now.
This is Morgan Lynch with Parks Forward of Hendersonville. Our value of urgency, timely, responsive, focused, prioritizing you as our customer and the community we serve. To do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience a Parks Promise today at parksforwardhendersonville.com.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And we're the Chainsaw Brothers. Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we're Western North Carolina strong.
Looking to buy or sell in Asheville? At Clarissa Sells WNC with eXp Realty, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County. Give us a call, 828-774-6343. We're here for what matters most, you.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
We're back in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, AFC East off-season grades. The New York Football Jets. Jeremy, your former team.
It's not my former team. The Jets at this point for me are like that wife that I don't like you, but I still love you. And I don't necessarily want to talk to you every week, but it's still a lot of love there.
Right. You want to place a long shot wager in Las Vegas right now? You can place a wager on the DraftKings Sports app for the Super Bowl matchup. Right now, you can get plus $1 million on the Jets and the Saints. Are you in?
Out. Yeah. I will not put one dime
on that. Why would you even put that on the board?
Because you have to put everything on the board because somebody will get inner feelings and somebody will bet it. Somebody out there will go, I got $10 on the Saints and the Jets, and if I'm right, we're going to Vegas.
I have never seen a plus $1 million before.
Yeah, if you're right, here's the thing: 30 other NFL teams disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle, so we got bigger problems than your Vegas trip, Jeff.
Absolutely. Your New York Jets. I mean, you've still got some decent pieces on this team, but it's just never going to come together. Not with Justin Fields as the quarterback.
I don't believe in Justin Fields. Do I think he's going to run for yards? Absolutely. I think the Jets are going to be one of the leading rushing teams in the NFL. That's why I keep laughing at people talking about them trading Breece Hall. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, look, I love Braylon Allen too. He's not your feature back. And Aaron Glenn has talked ad nauseum about Breece Hall and Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen as this three-headed monster with Justin Fields, the rapport with Garrett Wilson, all that's all well and good. I kind of look at the Jets and the Giants similarly. The difference is I do think the Jets have a little punch. I just don't think it's going to be much of a punch against good defenses. How many wins would shock you for the Jets?
How many wins would shock me?
Because their schedule's straight up not tough. They play one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. Yeah, you're going to get housed by Baltimore. You're probably going to get housed by Cincinnati. You probably lose to Denver. Say you lose to Buffalo twice. Probably split with Miami. Other than that, every other game on the schedule is winnable.
I will say 6 or more.
6 would surprise you?
Yeah.
So it would surprise you if they beat the Patriots once, beat the Dolphins once, beat the Jaguars, the Saints, the Browns, the Panthers, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Steelers. Nothing I just said would surprise me in the least, which for me is actually a bigger negative. If you're going to be bad, be terrible. This team cannot do that. Every year they pick 8, 10, or 12. And you just live in this vicious cycle of suckitude.
And that's where you're going to stay.
Hey.
Unfortunately. Because I don't see anything that you did in the offseason that's going to make this much better. I don't feel like you're really even close to contending because you can't score points. And I don't know that that changes all that much. I still like pieces on your defense. I don't understand why they – I mean, it's just not good enough to win you games. That's the problem. And I don't know that there's anything that you can do to fix it. The question is, how long is the how long is, I don't want to say how long is the leash, because there's no like he's going to get fired after a year. I don't think it can go that poorly.
For Aaron Glenn?
But what's the hope? What's the baseline here? How do you feel positive at the end of the season as a Jets fan?
If the defense improves back to where it was, of which, look, I've said this, I think the defense is going to be good. Offensively, if Garrett Wilson shows that he's legit the guy that I think he's already shown to be, but now it's, he's got his quarterback, and all of the things should be hunky-dunky for Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson needs to be special this year. I mean, he's had 1,000 yards, I think, in every season he's been in the league. And if not, he missed it once and he was close. Nope, 1,000 yards every year he's been in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This year, you need to get that touchdown number up. He needs to be in the higher echelon of the league in that 10-ish range at 1,200-1,300 yards. Breece Hall and the running game is good. The offensive line holds up, and you're just a quarterback short. That's how you feel good. If you need one more weapon and a quarterback, I think you can feel good about this year. And now I have a little higher hopes than you because I have absolutely no doubt this team's going to go 7-10 or 8-9. I don't know which one, but I think it's one of those two.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you've got 7 quarterbacks in this class, so of course the Jets are going to pick at 9.
Just so you
that's how it works every single day. Hey, we could get Trevor Lawrence, or we could win one completely meaningless game and we get Zach Wilson. Daughters, hide your mothers. It just.
Are you buying the hype on Aaron Glenn or no? Are you excited about Aaron Glenn, or is it already worn off?
That's a complicated answer. Are you asking me as a fan, or are you asking me as a media professional?
I am asking you as a fan.
As a fan, yes, I have some hope for Aaron Glenn. Because everybody in the building is talking him up and how the program is different and things are going in a good direction. As a media professional, no, I have no hope for this whatsoever. My interaction with him at the Combine was enough for me to go, there is absolutely no reason for you to be that prickly as a rookie head coach. Mm-hmm. Like, this is part of the job. And it was not impressive to me at all. Everything I've heard about the offseason program, players love him, but he's not a player's coach per se, but players do like him. And I think he will get the best out of a lot of these guys.
Well, and once he didn't have to answer any more questions about Aaron Rodgers, things lightened up, didn't they?
No, he's been pretty prickly with the media. He's just one of those old school coaches. I don't want to say anything. I mean, he's a Bill Parcells disciple. Mm-hmm. If you dealt with Bill Parcells, you know exactly what you're getting out of Aaron Glenn.
Right.
And I mean, to me, it's fine. To me, Aaron Glenn is a less Johnny Rah-Rah version of Robert Saleh. I wanted an offensive head coach. I'm fine with Aaron Glenn because Ben Johnson wasn't coming here. There weren't really a lot of offensive guys that I was jumping up and down about. So I think you made the best of the mess that you put yourself in. But it's still a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, even the most delusional Jet fan you'll ever meet will still look at this and go, it's a mess.
You know what else is a mess? Usually my face after we've been to Bear Smokehouse Barbecue. That Texas pepper barbecue sauce, when I say I can put it on anything, I'm telling you, I could probably eat that stuff on anything. Now, you give me some, Bear Smokehouse Barbecue brisket or some pulled pork, the pulled chicken, the smoked sausage, any of it. It's good on everything. I'm telling you. And all of their sauces are great. All of their meats are great. I haven't had a single thing on that menu that is not fantastic. Coming up tonight, they've got another Women to the Front concert series, as you can see some live music down there every Thursday night, every Saturday night as well. And by the way, what are you doing for the 4th of July? You got plans to go see the fireworks? That's a pretty solid spot. You're going to be down on the South Slope at Bear Smokehouse Barbecue, not a stone's throw away from where they're shooting off the fireworks. You got a pretty good vantage point. You can go ahead and make your plans right now. Get down there early, enjoy the best meat in town, and celebrate blowing up stuff to honor your country. It's just it's the all-American way to celebrate Independence Day. Bear Smokehouse Barbecue, 2 locations in town, South Slope, 135 Cox Avenue, downtown, 1127 Sweeten Creek Road in South Asheville. BearsBBQ.com, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. AFC off-season grades continue when we return here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Your mountain weather forecast.
Thank you. We have a Dolphin super chat when we come back to.
Temperatures heat up, some showers and thunder.
Okay.
Another round of rain is possible this evening with clouds and patchy fog overnight, with the low dropping to 67. The high on Friday headed to 88 degrees with showers and thunderstorms settling in through the afternoon hours. If you'll be out during the weekend, you may encounter some afternoon and evening thunderstorms. High temperatures on Saturday and Sunday should hit the mid to upper 80s. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-513-4444. That's 800-513-4444. 800-513-4444.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
See things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. Whether you're hitting the trails, hitting the water.
All right, you still want to do your Liver King story?
For the perfect picnic,
sure.
The greatest grill out.
We still got 2 teams to do, so we'll just let you do Liver King, and then we'll do Dolphins Bills.
Okay. The Dolphins won't take long.
Head on over to Ingles and stock up on all the.
Agreed.
Actually, neither one of these teams really going to take that long.
Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville, introducing you to this summer's Parks Community Hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. A critical need exists today. Join us on June 27th at Parks Ford of Hendersonville Help save a life and donate blood and make a direct impact in our community and support all of our community heroes. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Looking for something fresh on Thursday nights? Join us at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue for WTF Thursdays. That's Women to the Front, a new live music series spotlighting incredible solo female artists. Every Thursday from 6:30 till 8:30 p.m. in partnership with WTF Fest, we're bringing powerful performances and good vibes to the stage. It's free, it's fun, and it's all about supporting women in music. WTF Thursdays at Bear Smokehouse Barbecue, downtown Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green.
Don't do crimes!
And in today's Don't Do Crimes episode, the Liver King is catching headlines.
Brian Liver King Johnson. He did a thing that you're not allowed to do. If you don't know who this lunatic is, he is the yoked up, hobo-looking individual that told you because he lives an ancestral lifestyle and only eats liver, he has become this fine specimen of a human being. He did, however, leave out that he takes about 15 steroid injections a day. That would have been good information to have and kind of makes you a liar. Well, one of the people that was most forceful in calling him out was podcast host Joe Rogan, who said long before he ever got caught, that dude's on roids. I also said, that dude's on roids, because you don't look like that by eating Cliff Bars. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. There is healthy and there is enhanced. He is an enhancement.
Yeah, plus eating all that organ meat, how do you not have the gout? Like, honestly.
Oh, he has to wear very soft-soled tennis shoes, for sure.
100%.
Mr. Johnson decided that he was going to pick a fight with Joe Rogan. So he started sending him messages on the Insecure-gram. One of them said, man to man, I'm picking a fight with you. You're a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I know nothing about it. We'll fight on your fight your rules whenever you're ready. He continued to do this as he was driving to Austin, Texas, which is where Joe Rogan lives. Do you know what that's called, Tank?
What?
That's called
Stalking?
Communicating terroristic threats.
Oh, sure.
You can tell somebody that you're going to whip their keister face to face in the heat of the moment. That's not a terroristic threat. Could be assault and battery. It could be a lot of different things. When you start traveling across state lines to get to somebody to do said thing, you have now become a terrorist. Today, he has been ordered to stay 200 feet away from Mr. Rogan and has been charged with communicating terroristic threats and a handful of other charges. Just, you ever just look at somebody and go, you're kind of a goober, bro. Like, just being honest, you're kind of a goofball. I mean, honestly,
but I got to do it for my followers.
Jonathan Welch said this in the YouTube chat, and I think this is fantastic. He's the Tiger King of abs.
Yes.
I don't see a lot of difference between Joe Exotic and the Liver King. You're famous for being a goofball.
Yes.
Like, nobody looks at you and goes, I want to be like that guy when I grow up. No, you don't. I have a nickname for him, but
you may want your body to look like that when you grow up.
No, you don't.
You definitely don't. But you definitely don't want to be an unstable individual who, well, I mean,
hey, Tank, when you were a kid,
let's be honest. No one's shocked that this happened.
So, when you were a kid, there was a toy, and I want you to tell me the name. It was a thing that you put it on a sheet pan, and you put it in the oven. And it started one size, and then it kind of shrunk down. What was that called? What was that toy called?
Oh, you're talking about Shrinky Dinks.
There you go. Now, again, Jeremy gives you the material, and you write the joke. Ta-da! Can't get mad at me because I didn't say anything wrong.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
You do 13 steroid shots a day like a frightened turtle, my friend.
Wasn't expecting that today. All right, Miami Dolphins. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins because, I mean, wow, the flood of jokes that I could segue into just they're bombarding my brain right now. The Miami Dolphins they're not going to be good this year. I don't feel like that's a spicy take. I don't feel like that's any breaking news to anybody. I don't understand how you can look at this team and think, well, I know that whole, speed kills baby thing really ran out of gas last year, but I think we're just going to do it again. We're just going to keep doing it, and hopefully this time it'll work.
I'm going to make one of those analogies that people have come to expect from me. That's really myopic, and probably half of you are not going to understand. Did you ever watch the show The Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
Do you remember the episode where Sheldon Cooper decided that he was going to let all of his decisions be made by a throw of the dice?
Yes.
He was sitting at the Cheesecake Factory, and he really wanted to have a cheeseburger and a chocolate milk. And he rolled the dice, and he got an old-fashioned and a piece of cheesecake.
Yep.
I feel like that's how the Miami Dolphins built this roster. They just kept throwing the dice going, come on, get me a corner. Defensive tackle. Oh, shoot. Do it again. Give me a corner. Defensive tackle. Are these dice weighted? How many defensive tackles do we need? Well, you got a bunch. A whole mess.
Yep.
I mean, look, the front seven I think will be good. The offense doesn't do a lot for me because the line's just terrible. I mean, I hate to tell Dolphin fans, that's not a spicy take. Your line is horrifically bad. When you're starting Patrick Paul and Austin Jackson as your tackles, you're in trouble. Especially in a division that has Buffalo, New England, and the Jets. Because you played 6 games against teams that will absolutely haunt their nightmares. And before people say, well, you didn't get enough of a look at Patrick Paul. Dude played 400 some odd snaps last year. I got plenty of a look to know he's going to be a sieve.
Mm-hmm.
And you're putting a notoriously injury-prone quarterback back behind that who just flat out wasn't very good last year. I feel like the league, the Miami Dolphins offense, and it's so funny it's this team, this reminds me of the Wildcat.
Right.
You tried to do something where you thought you were outsmarting the league, and now we figured you out. Awesome. You can score a lot of points. You also can't stop anybody. So you've got 3 legit pass rushers. You've got 4 legit defensive tackles. Your secondary, it's not just bad. It is horrifically bad. Do you know who the highest rated member of that secondary? And now I'm taking Jalen Ramsey out because that's already been kind of cast in the stars that they're not getting back together.
Right.
Do you know who the highest rated starter in that secondary is from last year?
Who?
Ashton Davis. Who, oh, by the way, couldn't even consistently play snaps for the New York Jets. He was a special teams guy for the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst secondary I've ever seen, and it's not even close. I've seen expansion teams that were better than this.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're telling me you're going to go up against Drake May and Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes and all the other quarterbacks that you got to play this year, and you think that's going to hold up against them? Good luck.
Storm Duck, Cater Kohu, Artie Burns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cam Smith.
Without Jalen Ramsey.
It's awful. It's awful.
Not a lot there. Ugh.
It's awful. And you used your 13th pick. With Jahdae Barron on the board, you used your 13th pick on Kenneth Grant. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? I think everybody's fired Miami.
Jalen Phillips is healthy, and Bradley Chubb's healthy, and Chop Robinson. We're going to have a hell of a pass rush.
Sweet. I'm not going to have time to get there because your corners are going to get beat like kettle drums just over and over and over and over again. I mean, for me, Miami is full on Gary Busey. Mm-hmm. That is the grade for the Miami Dolphins. I don't think you could have done this any worse.
Jonathan Welch asked in the YouTube comments, is there a team that regressed worse than the Dolphins?
I don't think so.
This year. And he may be right.
I don't think so. And I like the roster better last year than I like it now.
Yep.
Look, I like your defensive coordinator. That defense is predicated on having guys in the back half that can actually stop somebody. You can't cover. You're irrelevant. And I haven't even mentioned your Fabergé egg of a quarterback, your former top 10 pick that looked like he had regressed to I don't know 100% what happened with Jalen Waddle last year, but he wasn't good. It's just all bad. It's the Miami Dolphins have no momentum.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We've got one more AFC East offseason grade. It's the Buffalo Bills. I don't feel like there was much movement here. Did they do anything in the offseason that you went, that's going to make a big difference?
No.
In a team that was already a contender?
No.
I
think their secondary will probably be – I think the secondary will be better. Okay. I know Tre'Davious White wasn't particularly good in limited work last year, but the best he's ever looked was in Buffalo, excuse me.
Sure.
And I mean, he's only 30 years old.
That was 5 years ago, though?
It's been a minute, yeah. The funny thing about Tre'Davious White, his rookie year, he was borderline all-pro. He never touched that again. But just having him and Benford and Johnson and all of the pieces you got, I think the secondary has to be better than it was last year. Because it was just a joke at times. Joey Bosa doesn't do much for me because the injuries have caught up to him, and I just don't think he's the same guy anymore. But, I mean, he's a piece. You added TJ Sanders.
I was going to say, isn't that more of a lateral move, though, from Von Miller?
I would say he's probably fractionally better than Von Miller. But it's so close that I'm not even sure it's worth discussing.
Right.
And then offensively, I do like that you added a few more weapons. I don't think any of them are special, but between Elijah Moore and Josh Palmer, you add that to Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir, James Cook, I do not know what in the world is going on with him. I know he wants a lot of money, and Buffalo does not seem inclined to give it to him.
Why would I?
With James Cook?
Is the market – is he going to get a huge deal on the market? Do I have to overpay him?
Depends on what overpay is, and I haven't gotten a great beat on what it is that he wants. I've heard a lot of numbers. I don't necessarily buy a lot of them. Right now, there are 7 running backs in the NFL that make more than $10 million in total cash.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he belongs in this category. But do I think he's worth $15 million? No, I don't.
No. No, I don't. I don't know that there is a running back that's worth that. Outside of Saquon Barkley, and I wouldn't give him that for much longer.
Well, look, if you're looking at APV, Saquon Barkley's is at $20.6 million.
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey's at 19, Derrick Henry's at 15, Jonathan Taylor's at 14. That's probably where my line would be. And from what I hear, 15 is what he wants. He's younger than every single player I just said. Mm-hmm. I get it. But you can't let this carry into the season. Look, you're in a window, and you really need James Cook. This is almost like the Cincinnati Bengals and Shamar Stewart and Trey Hendrickson. You can try to take the high line stand and be in the right and however else you want to phrase this. At the end of the day, if you don't have him, you are in trouble. So you kind of have to fold at some point.
Right.
I mean, if they don't, and I don't like saying that a running back makes this much a difference. Without James Cook, I can comfortably say Baltimore's in front of you. I think I can comfortably say Kansas City's in front of you.
Uh-huh.
And now you're in almost that kind of gross second tier with Houston. You can't risk falling into that.
Right. I mean, Ray Davis is fine, but he's no James Cook. He's not a replacement. We get that. But I mean, is James Cook going to sit out if he doesn't get what he wants?
I don't know. I don't think so. He doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. But you don't want that hanging over your season. You don't want that coming up every single week, and it's going to. If this blows into the season, every time Sean McDermott comes up for his Monday presser with the Bills media, that's going to come up. And I don't need any distractions. I've already got enough pressure of how many times are we going to get to the divisional round or to the AFC Championship game and not be able to pay it off.
Right.
I don't need anything else. Now I got a quarterback coming off an MVP campaign, and I've never gotten him to a Super Bowl. Those things get louder and louder and louder, especially in a city that doesn't have a whole lot to take their mind off of Buffalo. Mm-hmm. It's one thing if you're in L.A., media members, they're very wishy-washy. New York is as much vitriol as there is there. You can get them off that topic. Buffalo, what else are they going to talk about? Buffalo Sabres hockey, that might get you a Wednesday. That might buy you a Wednesday reprieve.
At the beginning of the season.
And they'll be back on Thursday to talk about it all over again.
Precisely. It's what it's what drives sports in that area. And when you have a team that continually wins 12 to 14 games a season and you don't ever punch that ticket, right? You don't ever get to the Super Bowl, you don't win the conference championship. It becomes like, what else can we do?
It gets loud.
What else is there left? Right, but because something's got to change eventually, wouldn't you think? Right? You only have this window so long.
Well, and then almost the pressure starts working against you.
Yeah.
Because it's not just, hey, we have to beat our opponent. We also have to beat ourselves. And it starts getting into your head of, are we ever going to cross this threshold? Are we ever going to get there? Are we ever going to be this team? And you start getting into self-doubt, and it's just a vicious cycle. All season.
You've got another 13-4 team here. You look at that schedule and go, there. I mean, it's not it's not easy, but
it's not awful.
There's a lot of wins. There's a lot of wins on this schedule. And there's teams that you can for sure have trouble with and beat. Houston Texans, Cincinnati Bengals. Other than that, you've got Baltimore and Philadelphia, Kansas City. That's your toughest games right there.
No doubt.
This is going to be another 13-4, 12-5 team, and you got to prove it when it matters.
Can you get over the hump? Before off-season grade for the Bills, I'm giving them a C.
Okay.
I think they did some good things. I think they did some less than good things. I don't think the team is markedly better or worse than they were a year ago.
All right. Fair enough.
We also have a super chat that you and I both forgot with the Miami Dolphins. from Soaring Eagle, it said the Miami Dolphins with Tua are a lot like me playing Marvel Rivals. Well, I played as Luna Snow twice and won MVP with her once, so she has to be this dog. That works there, not in the NFL. The thing with Tua, to me, where I always come back to it with Tua, take the contract out of it. Just player for player, how many NFL teams would trade what they have for Tua Tagovailoa? Because I think it's about 6.
Yeah.
And it's the worst of the worst.
Yeah. I was going to say, that list is definitely not as long as you would want it to be if that was your quarterback. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We will wrap up the week tomorrow right here on ESPN Asheville, where we will have the Souths. NFC South, AFC South, off-season grades. We'll see you tomorrow.
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Your mountain weather forecast.
The high today should climb up to 92 degrees, and as temperatures heat up, some showers and thunderstorms may move in this afternoon. Another round of rain is possible this evening with clouds and patchy fog overnight, with the low dropping to 67. The high on Friday headed to 88 degrees with showers and thunderstorms settling in through the afternoon hours. If you'll be out during the weekend, you may encounter some afternoon and evening thunderstorms. High temperatures on Saturday and Sunday should hit the mid to upper 80s. I'm Jeff Maher from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at Lowe's.com/Lowe's.
Knowing Nissan is here for you at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
For a limited time until supplies last, assembled with U.S. and imported parts.
Are you an oblivious person hogging the sidewalk like a large dying snail? Do people stuck behind you ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have tons of quality beds at every price. So anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Did you know that Ingalls sells a huge variety of organic items? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Did you know that they have more local craft beer than any place else? Or that they have Energy Smart stores? Or that they professionally sliced and package imported cheese from Europe? Did you know about their giant international aisle, local farm partnerships, curbside pickup, wine department? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we're Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo! Did you know that Ingalls sells a huge variety of organic items? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
There's a lot to be excited about in 2025. And for your Atlanta Braves, it's all about a fresh start.
1-2, he hits one well. Deep left field. Gonna head back to the wall. Boom! A 2-run home run!
Join us for Atlanta Braves baseball all season.
Fly ball deep right field. Hanging high. Carrying back to the chop house. Look out!
The mountain's home for the Braves. Asheville's #1 sports station. ESPN Asheville.
I'm Amy Grant. No one was more surprised than I was to learn I was living with a rare heart condition. So listen to your heart. I'm here today because I did. Learn more at helpheart.org.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
From the Ingalls studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.